So get ready to root for the road team. Check out this year's trips at grandslam-getaways.com. That's grandslam-getaways.com.
With South College's Bachelor of Science and Health Science, you can focus on pre-physical therapy or pre-physician assistant, or you could pursue an Associate of Science in Surgical Technology. Each curriculum is designed to promote development of knowledge and skills. The South College campuses in Atlanta and Marietta are designed with modern classrooms, laboratories, and other conveniences for students and faculty, an on-site cafe, and many nearby amenities. Learn more about South College in Atlanta and Marietta. Visit south.edu today. The time to pursue your dreams is now, and the place is South College, where dreams find direction.
George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. It is an overcast Thursday afternoon. Temperatures have reached the low 70s. That's a nice change from the last couple of days here at spring training, the Grapefruit League. And as we get set for first pitch, let's take a look at our starting lineups first for Walt Weiss's Atlanta Braves, playing in their sixth spring training game, 4-1. Leading off and at second base, Brett Wisely. Batting second and at designated hitter, Nacho Alvarez. Batting third and at first base, Dom Smith. Batting fourth and in right field, Ben Gamble. Batting fifth and at third base, Kyle Farmer. Batting sixth and patrolling left field, Deshaun Kiersey Jr. Batting seventh and behind the plate, Chadwick Tromp. Batting eighth and at shortstop, Luke Williams. And batting ninth in center field, Jose Azocar. So one more time for the Braves, it's Wisely. Fierce one. Leading off and in center field, Trent Grisham. Batting second and in right field, the two-time defending American League MVP, Aaron Judge. Batting third and in left field, Cody Bellinger. Batting fourth and at second base, Chaz Chisholm Jr. And batting fifth and at first, Paul Goldschmidt. Batting sixth and doing the catching, Austin Wells. Batting seventh and at third base, Ryan McMahon. Batting eighth and at shortstop, Jose Caballero. And batting ninth at designated hitter, Seth Brown. So one more time for the Yankees, it's Grisham, Judge, Bellinger, Chisholm, Goldschmidt, Wells, McMahon, Caballero, and Brown, with Elmer Rodriguez, their number 3 prospect, on the mound. And as the umpires shake hands at home plate, a look at our crew this afternoon. Mark Wagner, the crew chief, calling balls and strikes. Laz Diaz making the calls at first. Matt Blackborough is at second. And Darius Ghani is at third. That is your umpiring crew this afternoon for Braves spring training baseball. The Yankees preparing to take their field in their blue tops, pinstripe white pants. And a look at the defense for the Bronx Bombers. Behind the plate, Austin Wells. And on the infield from right to left, it's Paul Goldschmidt, Jazz Chisholm, Jose Caballero, his double play partner at short, and Ryan McMahon at the hot corner. In the outfield for the Yankees, it's Cody Bellinger in left, Trent Grisham in center, and Aaron Judge in right field here at Yankee Stadium South in Tampa, Florida. And Ben, this is one of the top offenses in all of baseball, and the Yankees also trying to figure out what their starting pitching rotation looks like. And Elmer Rodriguez, a really talented arm. Excited to see him on the mound this afternoon.
Yeah, this is fascinating. I think it's going to be a look towards the future for the Yankees. We've heard lots of things about Elmer Rodriguez, but I think one of the best things about spring training is we get a chance to see some of these up-and-comers. And for the Yankees, that's certainly Rodriguez. I mean, this guy was very impressive. 150 innings last year between high A, double A, and triple A, and had 176 strikeouts. So high expectations for him. And we'll be seeing the 22-year-old out of Puerto Rico on the mound today. He'll be facing Brett Wisely, Nacho Alvarez, and Dominic Smith here in the top of the first inning. Yankees take the field behind Rodriguez. Rodriguez, 6'3", 160. How about this? He was a fourth-round draft choice of the Red Sox in 2021. When they drafted him, he was the lightest player in the draft at 160 pounds. He was traded to the Yankees in 2024 in the winter meetings for Carlos Narvaez. And the 6'3", 160-pound right-hander out of Puerto Rico, 22 years old. As you mentioned, 3 levels in the Yankee system last season, high A, double A, and triple A, and altogether went 11-8 with a 2.58 ERA through 27 appearances. So those minor league numbers certainly jump off the page, and a guy that we can see in the big leagues at some point soon.
No question. I was looking at his last start, and his secondary offering is his changeup. Again, fastball in the mid-90s, but a changeup, something he can throw against lefties and righties. And I'm curious to see what kind of innings he logs this coming month in the World Baseball Classic. He's going to compete with Team Puerto Rico, and if he's as good as advertised, he could be a key piece for Puerto Rico if they want to try and make a run. So excited to get one of the few starts he'll have for the Yankees before heading over down to Miami.
All right, he gets the nod today. And again, it'll be Wisely, Alvarez, and Smith for the Braves here in the top of the first inning. Braves take the field coming out of the third base dugout wearing their navy blue tops, gray pants, red lettering, red numerals outlined in white, Atlanta across the chest on top of the red tomahawk. Like Wiley mentioned, pinstripe pants for the Yankees, navy top, white lettering and numerals, and that interlocking NY logo on the left chest of those Navy uniforms. So Brett Wisely climbing in, light breeze out to left field. Mostly cloudy skies, but like Wiley mentioned, it's warmed up. That's been nice. We've seen temperatures in the 50s and wind howling the last few days. Much better for today at 72 degrees and a light breeze out to left field. This is the biggest Grapefruit League stadium and a good crowd here on a Thursday afternoon. Right-hander Rodriguez is ready. So is Brett Wisely. Braves and the Yankees. And now for the ball game. First pitch swinging and a fly ball weakly to left field. Cody Bellinger coming in. Throws up the leather, makes the catch right over the bill of his cap, and we're underway with 1 down. Ball game starting up at 1:06 Eastern Time, 12:06 Central, and 72 degrees here in Tampa. 1 down, that brings Nacho Alvarez up to the plate. Alvarez getting his first look at Elmer Rodriguez. Nacho batting 143 this spring, and he takes the ball a little bit low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes for Rodriguez. Like Wiley mentioned, fastball, he's got a change, he's got a curve, a slider, he's got a splitter as well. Pretty deep bag of tricks for a 22-year-old. Here's a 1-0 pitch on the way. Smacked out to first, backhanded on a knee by Goldschmidt, underhand feed to the bag, and there's Rodriguez. And 2 very quick outs here on the top of a scoreless first inning. So 2 down for Dominic Smith. Should he reach, Ben Gamble would come to the plate. And the bottom of the first inning, Yankees will send up Grisham, Judge, and Bellinger. And the Braves trying to stay out of a 1-2-3 first versus the 22-year-old right-hander. Elmer Rodriguez, tall and lean, very lean, kicks and brings the first pitch on the way to Dom Smith. And that's in for a called strike. Fastball out of Rodriguez. Ball on a blue glove right in front of his belly. Looking into his catcher, Austin Wells. Righty fires, misses outside on a 1-1 count. Rodriguez, the number 3 prospect in the Yankee organization. And seeing how he hit high A, double A, and triple A last year, I expect to see him in the big leagues this year. Check swing tapper back to the mound. Gloved right by Rodriguez next to his left heel. And he throws over to first base, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. So nothing doing for the Braves. Half an inning in the books. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Braves nothing, and the Yankees coming up.
Frontier is joining Verizon. New Frontier and Verizon customers can get 6 months of 100% fiber internet on us up to 1 gig by bundling Verizon Mobile and Frontier Fiber. Plus, get 2 mobile lines for $50 per month on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Verizon store to switch. $25 per line after $60 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Eligible new Frontier Fiber plan required. Availability varies. Additional terms apply.
Dad, why do we always make gumbo on special days?
Because it's our thing. Grandma made it, and now we do. Go ahead and grab the flour from that Publix bag. Can't make gumbo without it.
For the roux, right?
That's right. The roux holds it all together, like love does. Stir it slow, like I showed you.
Can I add extra shrimp?
Make it your own, huh? Just like Grandma taught me.
This Black History Month, share the traditions you know by heart. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
and who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Tampa.
Turn on the home of baseball for MLB Network's spring training coverage. Get an in-depth look at every club with previews from each camp. Check in with the players.
Trying to get dialed in.
Braves Country Fest.
First inning, no score. Braves nothing, and the Yankees coming up for the first time. Great to have you with us, alongside Wiley Ballard and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you. Carlos Carrasco on the mound, facing Trent Grisham, Aaron Judge, and Cody Bellinger here in the bottom of the first inning. And the 38-year-old right-hander out of Venezuela, making his second spring training appearance with the Braves this year. Saw him against the Rays on the 21st, pitching 2 scoreless frames. First offering to Grisham. Popped up down the left field line, coming over towards the line. Kiersey right up against the sidewall. He's got it. 1 pitch and 1 down. Carrasco showed him that first pitch fastball, and Carlos has a deep bag of tricks: slider, sinker, change, fastball, curve. And he's hoping it's all good today. He'll need it to be good here as he faces Aaron Judge. 1 down, no score. Aaron Judge, an MVP 3 of the last 4 seasons in the American League. And the first pitch to him, a little bit low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes on Judge as that sinker missed. Carrasco 6'4", 225, the righty from Venezuela. He'll be 39 in about a month or so. 1-0 pitch. Missed low and outside with a fastball. Last season, Carrasco spent time with both of these organizations. He was with the Yankees and the Braves. Altogether went 2-2 with a 7.09 ERA. That was through 11 appearances. Called strike. That time able to get a slider over versus Judge. Judge with 2 home runs already this spring, has a .500 average. Big menacing figure, the right-hand batter's box. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Carrasco, inside ball 3. For Carrasco, he pitched 13 2/3 innings with the Braves last year. Gave up 15 runs. 16-year Major League veteran. Righty set right at the tomahawk. Kicks and fires at 3-1. There's ball 4 outside. 1-0 part of Judge.
I know we didn't see it there, but I'm curious to see how the ABS plays for Aaron Judge. There are some who think, well, he's going to have the biggest strike zone, which is probably true. But others who will say, well, it was probably called bigger than even the rule book strike zone on him because he was so tall and umpires weren't used to it.
Yeah, that ABS system is going to be, I think, a good change in baseball this year. There's a ball outside. I don't know that Chris Siegel would agree with us after all the challenges in the game we called yesterday. Must have been 7 or 8 challenges that were overturned in that game yesterday. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Bellinger fouls one back to our left. And a 1-1 count on him. Here's the leather for Atlanta. Dominic Smith at first base. Brett Wisely, the second baseman. Luke Williams at shortstop. And Kyle Farmer's at third. Deshaun Kiersey Jr. in left field. Jose Azocar in center. Ben Gamble in right. Catchers Chadwick Trop and Carlos Carrasco on the mound. Carlos just missed there with a changeup and a 2-1 count on Cody Bellinger. No score, bottom of the first inning. Aaron Judge, who just walked, standing at first base. And the 2-1. Pop back our way and foul to our left, and the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mentioned that Carrasco's been in the big leagues for 16 years. Led the league in wins when he was with Cleveland back in 2017. Had 18 wins that year. He's won 112 games in his career. There's a little fly ball towards center. Going back to Zokar. In line with it. Makes the catch out in center field and 2 down. Judge back to first base standing. That'll bring Jazz Chisholm up to the plate. For Carrasco, a non-roster invitee to spring training. And like we discussed, the last time we saw him, 2 innings versus the Rays on the 21st. No runs, 3 hits, no walks allowed, and 3 strikeouts. So trying to build on that today, but doing so against a very difficult lineup. Jazz Chisholm batting cleanup for the Yankees. Takes a first pitch strike. Carrasco set right at the belt. 0-1 to the left-handed hitting Chisholm. He swings and misses. One down trying to find the changeup, and a good one there by Carrasco.
Going back to yesterday's game, the Braves were 6 for 6 in their challenges, and the Pirates were 0 for 2. So 8 total. Braves didn't miss.
Wow. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bouncer out to first, gloved by Smith, but foul, just on the other side of the line. Those 6 challenges, Wiley, I feel like all 6 came in the first couple of innings.
At least the first 3. I know Olsen obviously had the one that was less than a tenth of an inch. I mean, that got attention across the league for how close that one was. And most of them were by Braves hitters. I think the one exception was Drake Baldwin did challenge a ball to turn it into a strike.
Okay.
Behind the plate.
Yeah, that's a good ratio for the Braves, those overturned calls. No score, bottom of the first. No balls and 2 strikes on Jazz Chisholm. Judge will lead it first with 2 down. Carrasco spins it up there, and that's drilled down the right field line, but hooking foul. Got around on a fastball that was coming in there at 91 and blistered it into the seats down the right field line. So 0-2 on Chisholm. Gleaming white batting gloves on Chisholm. Bat resting on his left shoulder. 0-2. And Carrasco misses outside with a changeup. Braves went 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning versus Elmer Rodriguez. Sun pops out from behind the cloud. Light breeze out to left. 1-2. Just missed by a whisker with a changeup away. And the count even 2-2. Judge standing tall over Dominic Smith over at first base. 2-2 pitch, high fly ball to right field. Gamble going to drift, still drifting at the track. In front of the wall, leaps up, and it's gone. That just continued to drift further and further and had just enough juice on it to get over the right field wall. Gamble tried to time his leap, but just beyond the leather, and it's a 2-run homer by Jazz Chisholm to make it 2-0 Yankees here in the first inning. The dimensions here at Steinbrenner Field, exactly what you'd see in New York. So that short porch in right field swallows a home run ball. It's 314 down the right field line. A lot of other ballparks, that's a fly out to right field. Here it's a 2-run homer. So Carrasco tries to regroup. Line drive right off the bat of Goldschmidt up the middle to base it into center field. So a walk, a 2-run homer, and a single this inning.
The Yankees have been aggressive, too. Carrasco, he's faced 5 hitters, thrown just 19 pitches. But unsurprisingly, after what you saw last year from the Yankee bats, they have put up a ton of runs in their first 6 spring training games, averaging over 7 runs per game.
Well, this lineup, I believe it. Very potent lineup in there today for Aaron Boone's Yankees. Here's Austin Wells, left-handed hitting catcher, reaches and misses at a first pitch curveball. 2-0 Yankees on the home run by Jazz Chisholm. Out of the stretch, Carrasco set at the letters in the 0-1 pitch. Little tapper foul right there behind the plate. Rolls away from Chadwick Tromp. If Wells reaches, Ryan McMahon would come to the plate. He swings a weighted bat in the on-deck circle. Goldschmidt extends the lead at first. 0-2, sent foul over by the Yankee dugout. That Yankee dugout a full house. I mean, the entire railing, start to finish, has 4 arms draped over the top of it. That's a spring training dugout if I've ever seen one. You get so many guys in uniform for a home game. 0-2 to Wells. In the air down the left field line, slicing towards the seat. So that's a foul ball into the bullpen. Two-0 Yankees. Catcher Austin Wells looking for his first hit of the spring. 0-2, just missed. Tried a slider. And a 1-2 count. Seeing that pitch total, that pitch count get up pretty high there for Carrasco. This will be his 25th pitch of the inning. 15 strikes, 9 balls. 1-2 on the way. Punched out there towards second. That's going to be a sliding stop by Luke Williams. That's all he can do. He ranged out of his jurisdiction to the right side of the infield, slid to it in shallow center, and knocked it down. But that'll be a base hit for Austin Wells. Now Jeremy Hefner, Braves pitching coach, going to trot out there.
Looked like Wells got jammed as Williams was shuffling to his left. The ball was sort of spinning back right, and it looked like he was prepared to go full extension for it, diving towards first base. Next thing you know, it was kind of more at his midsection. He kind of had to swallow it. But good effort to keep it from going to the outfield. If nothing else, you keep Goldschmidt there at second.
Getting to see Luke play some shortstop today. He's one of those guys you can put all over the place. And seeing him at short today. 2-0 Yankees. Here comes Ryan McMahon. And McMahon, the 7th Yankee to the plate here in the bottom of the first inning.
And the 5th lefty.
Yeah, a bunch of lefties in there today. McMahon, an all-star with the Rockies 2 years ago, awaits the first pitch, and he takes a ball outside. McMahon, a good acquisition for the Yankees. This will be an ABS challenge.
Catcher's challenge in the call.
Chadwick Tromp has challenged this first pitch, which was ruled a ball by home plate umpire Mark Wegner. And waiting for the challenge system to pop up on the video board in left field. And it is a strike. And a good challenge by Chadwick Tromp. So that's overturned. So making an 0-1 count on McMahon. Braves have been all over that ABS challenge system. A 1 from Carrasco. Fouled off by the Yankee dugout. This will be the 10th season in the big leagues for Ryan McMahon. 9 years there with Colorado, and then went to New York last year. Played 54 games with the Yankees last year. Batted .208. 0-2. Touch low. Make it a 1-2 count.
Yeah, he's never hit for a high average, Ben, but it seems like every year when you look at the guys who have the longest plate appearances by pitch, he tends to be at the top of the leaderboard. He does not give away an at-bat.
Waiting on his 1-2. Carrasco spins it up there. There's a ball outside. 2-2. Braves went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning. And the Yankees got a 2-run homer from Jazz Chisholm a moment ago, and continuing to threaten with runners at first and second and 2 down. Count level 2-2. Here it is from Carrasco. He thought he had the pitch right there that he wanted, missed with a sinker inside, and the count runs full. That's now 30 pitches here in the first inning for the veteran Carrasco. And if McMahon reaches, Caballero would come to the plate. Runners go. 3-2. Line down the left field line. That's a fair ball going all the way into the corner. Goldschmidt will score. Wells around the bag at third. They overthrow the cutoff man. Ball rolls across the mound and cut off by Carrasco over on the first base line. McMahon standing at third. 2 more runs come across, and it's 4-0 Yankees.
And all 4 of those runs coming with 2 outs. And like you said, if the 2-out RBI weren't enough, overthrowing the cutoff man, extra 90 feet for McMahon. And to his credit, he didn't try and do too much. That had a lot of the plate. He just sprayed it down the left field line.
Well, in so many moments this inning where he was that close from getting through the inning. Here comes Walt Weiss. And the Braves will make a call to the bullpen. But go back to the 2-run home run by Jazz Chisholm. And he had 2 strikes on him. Needed 1 good pitch to get out of the inning unscathed. Next thing you know, the ball is taken off over the right field wall. He had Wells and McMahon in a position where he looked like he might be able to get them in the inning, but not the case. And the inning continues. No official ruling yet on that play. Should be a double and an E7 to be my guess. Because without that overthrow of the cutoff man, McMahon still would have been at second base.
And to your point, Ben, Carrasco recorded the second out of the inning on his 11th pitch and wound up having to throw over 30. He's matched his pitch total from his start last week.
And he got 2 innings out of that pitch total last week. Shea Shanneman is the new pitcher for the Braves. And we'll see if the Braves want to just stick with these relievers the rest of the way, or if we could see Carrasco again, because we've seen it many times in spring training games. It could be a rough inning for a starting pitcher, but they still want more work out of him. They could bring on somebody else to finish up the inning and then send back the starter with a fresh inning the next inning. That remains to be seen. But in this case, it'll be Shea Shanneman.
Yeah, the right-hander, an undrafted sign out of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln back in 2023. So this will be his 4th season in the Braves organization. Last year, he split his time between rookie ball, a couple of innings there at the Complex League, and then the majority of the season spent at Double-A with the Columbus Clingstones. Had an ERA of 7.06 and 29 in a third innings. He walked 23, struck out 25. Again, got to do a better job of commanding the zone. It was a walk rate of over 7 per 9.
All right, now facing Jose Caballero with a runner at third base. 4-0 Yankees here in the bottom of the first inning. Right-on-right matchup, Shanneman and Caballero. The first pitch swung on and sent foul. Yeah, that second out feels like it took place half an hour ago. Leadoff man Trent Grisham flied out to left field. Aaron Judge walked, and Cody Bellinger flied out to center. Since then, homer, single, double. Oh, 1 is outside, 1-1.
And 3 of those guys had 2 strikes on them.
Yeah, that's frustrating. On a strike on Caballero, hitting .333 this spring with a homer. Fouls one straight back to the backstop. And 2 strikes on him. Shanneman been at the waist. Now comes set right at the belt. Spins the 1-2 to the plate. Just a tick high with that curveball. Count even 2-2 on Caballero. And should he reach Seth Brown, the DH would come to the plate. Another left-handed hitter. He's in the on-deck circle right now. 2-2, fouled back. Just did touch a curveball. Jose Caballero, the shortstop. Check swing, tapper foul down the first baseline. Jose Caballero, in years past with Seattle and Tampa Bay, actually led the league in steals 2 years in a row. Did that in 24 as well as 25. Some good wheels for Caballero. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way from Shanneman. Low and outside, 3-2.
Shanneman, by the way, we mentioned he was out of Nebraska. He and Spencer Schwellenbach were college teammates on the 2021 Cornhusker team, and they won the Big Ten title.
Good squad. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Yanked down the left field line, fair ball. That one's going into the corner as well. That'll drive in Ryan McMahon. It'll be another extra base hit, this time off the bat of Caballero. RBI double, and it is 5-0 Yankees in the first inning. That closes the line on Carrasco. And another batter who a Braves pitcher had down to 2 strikes before they found extra bases. So all 9 Yankees to the plate here in the first inning. Seth Brown, another left-handed stick in Aaron Boone's order. 5 runs on 5 hits for the Yankees. No runs, no hits for the Braves. Brown swivels out of the way of the first pitch fastball low and inside from Shanneman. That fastball 92 from Shea Shanneman. .1-0 fouled back just to our left. You could potentially get a foul ball here. Take a pretty good shot. We've got a good little perch here in the press box here at Steinbrenner Field, but the windows in front of us kind of small. You can get one through here. That's a pretty impressive shot. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Seth Brown. Brown takes the ball high and outside. The last time we were here, was during the regular season last year when the Rays used this facility for their regular season games last year with the damage to the Trop from the hurricane. There's the 2-1 pitch. Boy, that looked like a good pitch. Doesn't get the call. 3-1 now on Brown. But Tropicana Field ready for play this year as they have the roof repaired, so the Rays will be back over in St. Pete. Shanneman's 3-1 fouled back, 3-2. And I'm sure they're happy about that. But folks here in Tampa are abuzz about what could be for a new Rays stadium, and the latest proposal and renderings have a stadium right over here where these Yankees are playing their spring training games. 3-2 pitch. Fly ball towards left field to his left. Kiersey looking up into the Florida sky, makes a two-handed catch, and mercifully the first inning comes to an end. All 9 Yankees come to the plate. 5 of them score. A 2-run homer by Chisholm led the parade. We go to the top of the second, 5-0 Yankees.
The Braves and Harris Cherokee Casinos want to give you the spring training trip of a lifetime. Enter now for a shot to win the spring training trip jackpot presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. Just visit Braves.com/Harris before March 5th, and you'll be in the running for a trip for 2 to Northport, Florida. You and a guest will win round-trip airfare, ground transportation, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Braves on Saturday, March 14th. But you must be 21 or older to enter. Get registered right now at Braves.com/Harris.
When life throws you a curveball, whether it's water, fire, or mold damage to your home or business, you need a winning team. You need ServPro. ServPro's licensed, certified, and highly trained team of experts are here to help, offering fast, reliable, professional restoration services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves and Braves Country, our teams are committed to performing at a championship level. When disaster strikes, call ServPro and make it like it never even happened.
Napa has the parts and the expertise to help your business stay ahead of the game. That's why Napa is a proud partner of the 2025 Atlanta Braves. 2 legends driven to win from the field to the open road. While Napa is powering fleets and garages across the country, the Braves are delivering pennants, MVPs, and championships. So no matter the size of your business, Napa are the pros that know how to keep you moving at full speed. Napa know how.
The second inning here at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida. Yankees 5, Braves nothing, alongside Weiler Ballard and our producer engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you. Great to have you with us on a Thursday afternoon. Road game here in the Grapefruit League for the Braves. Ben Gamel leads off versus Elmer Rodriguez. First pitch in there, called strike on Ben Gamel. We've seen Gamel homer once this spring. That was in the spring opener against the Rays. Check swing. Pitch misses inside from Elmer Rodriguez. We were telling you earlier about Rodriguez, the number 3 prospect in the Yankee organization. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Over for a called strike on Gamel, 1-2. It got me thinking. I was looking at Elmer Rodriguez, some of his stuff, and I got to thinking, when's the last time there was a guy in the big leagues named Elmer? Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ball a little bit low and inside, 2-2. Maybe not as far back as you might think. Elmer Descends, you might remember him. He played from 96 to 2010. But before that, you'd have to go all the way back into the 40s to find the last time there was a guy named Elmer who played in the big leagues. 2-2 pitch, blister down the left field line. They say foul ball. I don't know about that. That looked like it was right on the chalk. Tommy Watkins, Brave third base coach, checking it out with third base umpire Darius Connie. I think Ben thought he had a fair ball as well.
You count me in that group, too.
So make it 2-2 on Ben Gamel.
When did you say Elmer Descends played?
96 through 2010. Had a good long career, didn't he? There's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Ben Gamel. Check swing, and he went for strike 3. Before that, you'd have to go back to 1948 to a guy named Elmer Sexauer. That's the last time there was a guy named Elmer playing in the big leagues. There is one Hall of Famer named Elmer that I discovered. Elmer Flick, who played from 1898 through 1910. Been a while. Ball low and outside. You could tell that I was really going deep into the research.
I was waiting for you to drop an Elmer Fudd or an Elmer's Glue.
Elmer Fudd's got to be the most famous Elmer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
1-0 pitch fouled off. I don't think I want to go hunting with him, but I wouldn't mind hanging out with him at deer camp. Elmer Fudd. 5-0 Yankees in the top of the second. 1-1 on Kyle Farmer. Here it is from Elmer Rodriguez and a ball outside.
Catcher's challenging the call.
This will be challenged by Austin Wells. Mark Wegner's had a pretty tight zone, at least early on from our vantage point. And this will be a ball. So that's confirmed. And it remains a 2-1 count on Kyle Farmer.
Like you said, the Braves are hot. They're 7 for their last 7 in challenges. Opponents 0 for 3.
2-1 swung on, sent foul.
Dating back to yesterday.
The Braves had a Hawkeye for that zone, haven't they? Yeah. Batters and catchers. 2-2 on Farmer. Bases empty, 2 down, rather 1 down. Farmer pulls one out to third. Backhanded by McMahon. Gathers and fires, and a good throw, and 2 down. I know, Wiley, you're going to see some pitchers here and there that want to challenge an umpire's call. But I'm expecting to see more challenges from batters and catchers more than anything. Significantly more than pitchers would be my guess.
Well, especially after with the comments Chris Sale had earlier in the spring about he intends to not challenge at all, saying he's too greedy. And with all the work that catchers have poured into framing, trying to get that extra call, if you're a pitcher, you might be fooled by your own catcher thinking, oh, that looks pretty good.
True. 2 down for Deshaun Kiersey. He'll send one foul into the screen down the right field line. That's one less thing for a pitcher to worry about, too. I'll trust my catcher's judgment. If you want to challenge it, feel free. But that's one less thing on the plate for a pitcher, you might say. 0-1 on Kiersey. Looking for his first hit of the spring. Ball low and inside, 1-1.
I know Chris Sales talked about, I remember speaking with Dylan Lee last year, and he described his mentality on the mound as a caveman. In other words, he wasn't thinking a whole lot. He wants to just sort of see sign and go, or nowadays, I suppose, hear the sign and go.
Right. Simplify it all. Swing and a miss by Kiersey, 1-2. 5 runs on 5 hits for the Yankees. No runs, no hits for the Braves. We're in the top of the second. Braves still looking for their first base runner. Righty-lefty matchup. Pitch from Rodriguez. A little bit low to Kiersey in a 2-2 count.
And the last thing I'll say, when you got a guy like Chris Sale saying he's not going to challenge, if you're on this Brave pitching staff and Chris Sale's not challenging, maybe I won't challenge either.
Makes a statement. 2-2, sent foul into the seats down the third baseline. Kind of falls in line with Chris not shaking off his catcher at all.
Yep.
You drop a sign, Chris is going to throw it. Try to execute whatever pitch is called for. Count it 2-2 on Kiersey. Elmer Rodriguez fires. Misses high and outside. Tried to get the curveball over the outside corner. Left it floating up and away a little bit. If Kiersey can reach, Chadwick Tromp would come to the plate. 5-0 Yankees in the second. Rodriguez at 23 pitches. Here's number 24. 3-2 fouled off into the seats down the left field line by Kiersey. Coming to you from Steinbrenner Field, right off of Dale Mabry here in Tampa, right across the street from where the Tampa Bay Bucks play football. Busy area of town here in Tampa. 3-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Pretty nice fastball down. Located that pitch well. Elmer Rodriguez with 2 strikeouts and another 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the second. 5-0 Yankees.
Hi, it's Chuck Dowdle. If you're ready for a better checking account, my friends at Georgia's Own Credit Union can help. Open an all-access checking account for Georgia's Own, and you'll get access to more than 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs nationwide. And get paid up to 2 days early. Best of all, for a limited time, earn a welcome bonus when you open a new all-access checking account. To learn more, visit georgiasown.org. I'm Chuck Dowdle, and I'm proud to be one of Georgia's Own.
Georgia's Own is federally insured by the NCUA. Restrictions apply. Visit georgiasown.org for complete details.
Puka, Bella, I'm sure you've noticed some changes.
Who are you talking to?
I'm just practicing for when I have to tell the dogs about the twins. Because they'll...
Be fine in the spacious third row seat.
But the twins...
Can sleep peacefully thanks to the rear manual sunshade.
And what about the...
Extra cargo space for strollers and dog beds?
I guess you're right.
Can we go to the hospital now? The contractions are getting closer.
The three-row Lexus TX. Because everyone should feel like the center of the universe. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Everyone needs car insurance. Legally, you gotta have it. The good news is that you have a lot of choices in who to work with. Why not buy coverage from a company that invests your dollars back into your community? Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance supports grassroots efforts that strengthen communities and protect our access to locally grown food. Because they're local, they have excellent service and response time. This is insurance you can feel good about. Get a quote at gfbinsurance.com.
The original Louisiana brand hot sauce. It's the perfect balance of peppers, vinegar, and the salty tears of Mets fans. That's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some.
Yankees 5, Braves nothing into the bottom of the second. Starter Carlos Carrasco back out there with a fresh inning here in the bottom of the second. Once again facing the top of the Yankee orders. Trent Grisham leads off. First pitch to Grisham, low and inside. Great to have you with us on a Thursday afternoon alongside Wiley Ballard and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you from Steinbrenner Field, spring training home of the Yankees. Big Thursday afternoon crowd. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Weekly chopped out to first, taken on 3 bounces, nicked to the bag by Dominic Smith, puts his left foot on the bag, and 1 down here in the second inning. These Yankees coming off a season a year ago where they went 94-68. That was the exact same record as the Toronto Blue Jays. But the Jays won that head-to-head season series, so they took first place, and the Yankees a wild card team as they finished in second place in the East. Yankees beat the Red Sox in the wild card series, then lost to the Blue Jays in the division series. First pitch to Aaron Judge, bounces foul right outside the bag at third. And of course, this man led the way for the Yankees. Aaron Judge led the league in WAR, runs, walks, batting average, slugging, OPS, and total bases. Hit 53 homers. He won the MVP for the second year in a row and the third time in the last 4 years. Ball low and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. How about this? The last 4 years for Aaron Judge. I mean, just an amazing stretch in his career. He's hit 210 home runs in his last 4 seasons, and he's driven in 464 runs and batted .311 in that stretch. He'll swing and miss here. Sinker makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's also scored 471 runs in his last 573 games. And it's almost a foregone conclusion he's going to score at least 1 run in every single game. Just a mammoth right-handed hitter. And just an amazing and a tremendous talent in baseball. There's a called third strike. Good-looking changeup, freezes Judge, and he wants to challenge that call.
Batters challenging the pitch.
So a challenged strike 3 call. And we'll see if this stands or not. And that is a strike right at the bottom of the zone. So the Yankees lose that challenge. First strikeout for Carlos Carrasco. By the way, Judge just 32 career homers from 400. And he's 4th all-time in Yankee history in career homers, trailing Ruth, Mantle, and Gehrig. How about that?
I've heard of those guys.
Pretty good list. Passed Joe DiMaggio last year. 4th all-time in Yankee history. Here's Cody Bellinger. Takes ball inside. 1-0 to Bellinger. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Farmer at third looking up, and he has got it. And a much better experience in the second inning than what Carrasco faced in the first. It's a 1-2-3 frame. We go to the top of the third. 5-0 Yankees.
If you like to do this, or that, or even that, and you want to stay with it, Emery's got your back, or your shoulder, or your hip, or your knee. Our sports medicine specialists treat more world-class, professional, and college-level athletes than anyone else in the state. We'll treat you like a pro and get you back in play. That's the Emory difference. Make an appointment at emoryhealthcare.org/sports.
Hey, Braves Country, it's Tom Glavine, and when my ride needs a wash, I trust the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves, Tidal Wave Auto Spa. With hundreds of convenient locations, all-star customer service, and cutting-edge equipment that gets my ride sparkling clean in just 3 minutes, Tidal Wave is a game-changer. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location near you.
My car is happy. I am happy. Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
The Braves and Harris Cherokee Casinos want to give you the spring training trip of a lifetime. Enter now for a shot to win the spring training trip jackpot presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. Just visit Braves.com/Harris before March 5th, and you'll be in the running for a trip for two to Northport, Florida. You and a guest will win round-trip airfare, ground transportation, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Braves on Saturday, March 14th. But you must be 21 or older to enter. Get registered right now at Braves.com/Harris.
Top of the third inning here in Tampa. 5-0 Yankees. Braves coming to the plate with Tromp, Williams, and Azokar here in the top of the third inning. Alongside Wiley Ballard, Ben Ingram here with you from Steinbrenner Field. Bottom of the Braves, 9 facing Elmer Rodriguez, who's gone 6 up and 6 down to start this game. Couple of strikeouts for Rodriguez. First pitch to Chadwick. Tromp is outside. Good to see Chadwick in there. He took one up around the neck and head area in a game at Sarasota earlier this week. Shook that off in the lineup today. 1-0 from Rodriguez. Bounce foul right outside the bag at third. And a 1-1 count. Tromp hitless this spring. Second game we've seen him in. Here's the 1-1. And a ball inside. 2 balls and a strike. You're back on television tomorrow?
That's the plan.
You and Pete?
Me and Pete Moylan.
All right.
Got an international import.
That'd be good to see Pete. There's a 2-1 pitch on the way. In for a called strike, 2-2. And I know you and the rest of our TV brethren doing, what, about 15 games down here?
Yep, just about every home game. There'll be a couple that they will not cover, but...
There's the 2-2 pitch. Missed high, 3-2.
Pete kind of surprised me. He said he did not go back to Australia this offseason. First time in, I think, several years.
That's
he hasn't
a long
gone back.
flight,
yes,
man.
It is.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Chop foul. You ever been to Australia?
I have not. In fact, the reason I asked Pete that question is because I was in the midst of my flight back from Europe, and it was hour 7, and I felt like I was going crazy.
Yeah.
And I was asking him, how do you survive these things? He said, try and sleep, and a lot of video games on your phone.
I don't even, I'd need more than that.
Yep.
I might need a medicine cabinet to get me through that flight. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Pete might too. That'll be fouled back.
Some type of medication. First class, they can take care of some of that.
Eliezer Hernandez throwing in the Braves bullpen. 5-0 Yankees. We're in the top of the third inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Chadwick Tromp. Pitch from Elmer Rodriguez. And that's low ball 4. First base runner the Braves have had in the game. Leadoff walk here in the third inning. Well, what I was going to say was if you've been to Australia, I was going to guess what continents have you not checked off the list yet? I know you hit Europe, You probably hit Europe multiple times.
A couple times. But
yeah.
That was the first time in a long time.
Bad in the hands of Luke Williams. That misses high. What'd you think of Milan?
I loved it. It reminded me, quite honestly, a lot of American cities. The biggest difference over there is just the cobblestone roads. Just, to me, just kind of threw me off. Much bumpier, and naturally, I felt like Milan was like a maze, a circular maze. You're having to make all these awkward turns.
1-0 to Williams, strike on the inside corner. And you were there to witness the American team win the gold medal in hockey. And you said you're in the second row, right?
Yeah, as I've told people, it is helpful to have a brother who studies mathematics in Switzerland.
And he secured the tickets. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball foul outside the bag at third.
Yeah, he secured the tickets about 14 months ago, and I had to wait to commit till after last baseball season to make sure he was going to work out with the schedule of spring training. And then we didn't find out until a couple months in advance where the seats were located, because they basically charge a flat rate for every ticket in the building, and then they randomly assign your location. So the first semifinal, we were in the upper deck. The second, we were in the lower bowl, but back row.
1-2 to Williams. A reach and a miss. Hit him down to a knee, swinging and missing at that slider for strike 3. And 1 down.
Then lo and behold, my brother tells me we're in the second row for the gold medal game. And again, we were going to go regardless, whether it was the U.S. or Sweden, Finland, Slovakia. But the way the stars aligned, and all 3 goals were scored on our end of the ice. So it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
What a great moment. First pitch on the way. Ball low and outside, because that's obviously goes without saying. It's one of the biggest American sports moments of all time. But that transcends sports. That's an all-time great American moment that you got to see firsthand.
And to be honest with you, I'm still trying to process that.
1-0 pitch. Big chopper up the middle. That's going to escape it into center field, just out of the reach of Jazz Chisholm. Motoring around second is Chadwick Tromp. He goes into third base standing. And a base hit for Jose Azocar. So the bottom of the order setting the table. Runners of the corners, 1 down. And back to the top of the order to Brett Wisely. And thinking along those lines, if I met someone randomly who said, yeah, I was at Lake Placid in 1980, I'd think, what an amazing moment to experience live. And that's the case for you now, getting to watch that gold medal game in Milan.
And I'll tell you, the one thing that stuck out to me is you're watching the game unfold. It didn't feel like the event was as big as you knew it was.
First pitch to Brett Wisely, high and outside.
What I mean by that is it was only about 12,000 people, and to be quite honest with you, the media covers, the photographers, it wasn't overwhelming. I mean, you watch some of those games, those outdoor games. I think they played one actually across the street at Tampa about a month ago, and there's just photographers everywhere.
Right. 1-0 pitch, that'll miss low. Well, we were certainly locked in over here. In fact, the game started in the morning here. And the day of that game, we had a home game, and I was over, it was during BP, and I'm over at the cage, and Drake Baldwin and I were talking about the hockey game, and I was checking out the score on my phone. 2-0 pitch, in for a called strike, and the game was tied with about 5 minutes left in the third period. So the team was at BP and still wanting to know what's the score, tracking what's going on, and of course everybody over here was locked in and would have been no matter what time of day that game had taken place. 2 balls and a strike on Brett Wisely. Braves knocking on the door. Offering from Rodriguez. Chase and a miss there. Missed the changeup and a 2-2 count on Wisely.
And the funny thing, too, is that United States team captain Austin Matthews, he was in Tampa last night because he's playing for the Leafs, and they restarted the season last night just down the street at the Lightning Stadium.
Yeah, right back into their NHL schedule. 2-2 to Brett Wisely. Another chase and a miss. Doubled up on the changeup. Back-to-back changeups take care of Wisely. That's strikeout number 4 from Rodriguez. And, folks, this is the first time we've laid eyes on Rodriguez. He's 22 years old, and like we mentioned, the number 3 prospect in the Yankee organization. And it's really easy looking at his stuff to see what they like about him. Changeup and slider have been very good. His fastball location's been pretty solid. Not an overpowering fastball, but locates it well. Runners of the corners, 2 down for Nacho Alvarez. Braves need a run. And Nacho takes a first pitch slider for a called strike. Slider's been good against the righties. The changeup has neutralized the lefties. Zokar at first, Trop at third, 2 down in the 0-1. Low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Opening day, 29 days from today. Now we got the World Baseball Classic starting 6 days from today. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way to Nacho. Nacho squibs 1 foul, 1-2.
How about Nacho being added to Team Mexico just a couple of days ago?
That'll be a great experience. Nothing Yankees, top of the third. Just trying to dent the scoreboard here in the third inning. 1-2 to Nacho. Bouncer up the right field line, a fair ball all the way into the corner. That'll put a run on the board. Tromp touches the plate. Motoring on third base is a Zokar. He's going to score as well. 2 RBI double for Nacho Alvarez. A perfectly placed bouncer inside the bag at first and all the way down into the corner. And it is now a 5-2 game here in the top of the third inning. That was just out of the reach of Paul Goldschmidt. And a good job of slapping that one to the right side by Nacho. So the Braves on the board with a 2 RBI double. And finally breaking through versus Elmer Rodriguez. See if Dominic Smith can continue this run. Runner at second, 2 down. Rodriguez at 48 pitches. Here's number 49. And his first pitch slider misses outside. Dominic Smith 0 for 1. He had a 1-hopper back to the mound in the first inning. Veteran first baseman, left-handed hitter. Here's a 1-0 pitch. And a strike. Dotted the zone with a fastball. That's 94, exactly where he wanted it. Inside corner, under the hands. That's not an easy pitch to locate against an opposite-handed hitter. And the 22-year-old put it right there. 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, 2-1. Wells popped up like he was going to throw a snap throw down to second base, and back in standing Alvarez.
You hear so often in the big leagues, and really at any level of professional baseball, you can't rely on just one half of the plate. You've got to go east and west. Even if your stuff isn't necessarily moving east to west, location, you've got to force the hitter to be uneasy that you might go to either side of the plate.
2-1 pitch. That time he goes down and chasing and missing Smith. That's that changeup that's been giving lefty batters fits. That thing just dies of exhaustion as it approaches the plate and dive bombs underneath the bat. 5-2 Yankees, top of the third. Nacho Alvarez will be running on contact. Base hit should make it 5-3. 2-2 to Smith. Smith with a fly ball out to right field. To his right, Aaron Judge slightly crouches, makes a chest-high catch, and there's the third out in the top of the third inning. But the Braves on the board, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the third, 5-2 Yankees.
When it comes to shipping, Saia Freight and Logistics delivers a grand slam. As the exclusive freight and logistics partner of the Atlanta Braves, Saia provides comprehensive nationwide service focused on customer satisfaction. For over a century, Saia has delivered the smart solutions and reliable shipping businesses both big and small depend on. When service is everything, it's a yes. Step up to the plate with Saia. Visit Saia.com. That's SAIA.com.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Get 2.49% APR for 36 months on a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid. Offer valid through March 2nd, 2026. 0 down for well-qualified buyers with approved credit and financing through Southeast Toyota Finance. $28.86 monthly payment for every $1,000 financed. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
Oh. Forget something for your project? We've got you. At HomeDepot.com, get fast, free delivery on millions of items for whatever you're working on, same day or next day. We bring what you need how and you bring it to life. Get fast, free delivery only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select in-stock items by 4 p.m., subject to availability.
The Braves have over 20 gate giveaways this season, from bobbleheads to wearables. See them all at Braves.com/promos.
Braves played a couple of runs at the top of the third, so as we go to the bottom half, it's the Yankees 5, the Braves 2. Eliezer Hernandez has come out of the bullpen for the Braves. The right-hander, 30 years old, out of Venezuela. He spent last season in the KBO, so back over in the States, a guy who the Braves saw as a Marlin a few years back.
First pitch to Jazz Chisholm popped up. It spins back here towards us and out of play. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Atlanta Braves Spring Training Baseball.
Atlanta Braves Spring Training is live on WIFN Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station, 1340 and 103.7 FM.
Chisholm takes ball inside and a 1-1 count on him. Yankees 5, Braves 2, bottom of the third inning. Alongside Wiley Ballard and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick. Ben Ingram here with you from Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Chisholm hit a 2-run homer in the first. He swings wildly and misses here at a cutter. And it's a 1-2 count on him. We've seen Carlos Carrasco in 2 stretches of this game. Start of the game, went 2/3 of an inning. Came out in the first inning as Chase Shanneman finished. 1-2 missed a little bit low. And then Carrasco came back out for a 1-2-3 second. So his combined line, an inning and 2/3, 5 runs, 5 earned, 4 hits, a walk and a strikeout. Shanneman went a third of an inning, gave up 1 hit. And that'll be bounced foul into the Yankee dugouts, like somebody tossed a grenade in there. They went scrambling. And that swift one-hopper came in with its teeth showing. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jazz Chisholm.
Nowhere to go down there with all those bodies.
Yeah, good point. Left or right, you're going to bump into somebody. Here's the 2-2 pitch. High and outside, 3-2. Chisholm, Goldschmidt, and Wells for the Yankees are in the bottom of the third inning. 3-2. Little roller to second. Taken on 3 bounces by Brett Wisely. Wings it over to first base. And 1 down here in the bottom of the third inning. Aaron Boone going into his 9th season as manager of the Yankees. Only 6 Yankee managers all time have managed the team for 10 or more seasons. Joe McCarthy, Miller Huggins, Casey Stengel, Joe Torre, Ralph Houck, and Joe Girardi. And Boone going into his 9th campaign as the general of the Yankees. Hernandez misses with a first pitch slider. This is the first of 2 spring training meetings between the Braves and the Yankees. They'll come down in Northport a little bit later in the spring. 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike. We'll see the Yankees in New York this year. That'll be August 7th, 8th, and 9th. 1-1 on Paul Goldschmidt. Hernandez brings it. Misses outside. I know lots of you listening will circle one road trip or one destination yearly and go watch the Braves on the road. And, of course, Yankee Stadium, always a good one. Of course, it's not the old Yankee Stadium. That'll be swung on a miss, 2-2. But always a big atmosphere anytime we go up there and play the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Always a fun time. That might be a good one for you to cross off the list if you haven't yet in your time as a Braves fan. Goldschmidt connects it. It's a deep drive to left field. That's going to send Kiersey to the wall. He becomes an admirer. Forget about that one. That's long gone as Goldschmidt just tattooed his 2nd home run of the spring. And that is his 2nd hit today. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a homer. And that makes it 6-2 Yankees here in the bottom of the third inning.
If you're going to try and climb the ladder on Goldschmidt, you've really got to get it up there. And that one was right at the top of the strike zone. And again, he may not be the hitter he once was, but he can still time up a fastball. 1
down for Austin Wells. That first pitch misses. He's coming up on 400 home runs himself. This call will be challenged. Chadwick Tromp wants to challenge that last pitch, which was ruled a ball. And that was a correct challenge by Tromp. That will be overturned. Braves won another one. Man, they have quite the ratio on overturned calls challenging the ABS system. So 0-1 on Wells. One pitch, big swing and a miss. That slider from Hernandez, a good one. Finishing that thought on Goldschmidt, he's going into his 16th season in the big leagues. He's 38 years old. And he needs another 28 home runs to reach 400 for his career. Quite the career for Goldschmidt, who's been an MVP once. 0-2 pitch. Low and inside. Funny thing is with Goldschmidt, he's got that one MVP. He has been the runner-up in the MVP twice and finished third place once. 1-2, popped up, third base side. That should reach the seats and become a souvenir about 8 rows back of the Braves dugout. I mean, he's that close to having 2, 3, or even 4 MVP awards.
I think you factor in how close he's gotten to securing some of those, and quite honestly, the lack of postseason success for the teams he's been on. I suppose the Cardinals did make the LCS in 19.
Pitch is high, 2-2.
But, I mean, he's a guy who, quite honestly, if he had had the run he had in Arizona in a bigger market, maybe on the East Coast, he'd probably be even more of a household name.
He's had a terrific career. There's a looper in the left field and a base hit for Austin Wells out in the left center. He takes a big turnaround first. He's going to go for second. Here's the throw out of center by Zokar. It's off the mark. And a double out of Austin Wells. The catcher read it perfectly out in the left center field. He just kept his feet moving. And was flying around first base. It's a one-out double for Austin Wells. So now McMahon to the plate with a runner at second, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Yankees have a 6-2 lead. They scored 5 runs in the first inning, and they have scored once here in the third. The 2 Braves runs came in the top of this inning. McMahon takes a first pitch strike. Alongside Wiley Ballard, Ben Ingram here with you. Grapefruit League game number 6 this spring for the Braves. Bouncer over the mound, out to short, gloved by Luke Williams, and a good throw across for the out. Over to third base for Austin Wells on the 6-3 putout. And 2 down in the inning for Jose Caballero. Yeah, we're still in the first week of games, as this is our 6th Grapefruit League game. Braves have gone 4-1 in their first 5 games. Yankees with a 4-2 Grapefruit League record, if that means anything to you. Pitch to Caballero. Over for a called strike. 24 games left to be played. So the Braves scheduled to play 30 Grapefruit League games. And then opening day, 29 days from today in Atlanta. Braves and Royals. Cannot wait. Well, one from Hernandez. A swing and a miss. Able to put a wrinkle in that slider. And an 0-2 count on Caballero.
And we're going to get a flavor of the AL East these next few days. Going to see the Red Sox, the Orioles, the Rays.
0-2. Low and outside. You know, we got who? Boston tomorrow at home, right? That's not it's not a bad little trip, as they'll come up from Fort Myers. Might be an hour or so. Ball and 2 strikes on Caballero. Hernandez brings it. Fly ball to center. In line with a Zokar. Makes a casual chest-high catch. And there's out number 3. But a home run by Goldschmidt gives the Yankees another tally. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. Off to the 4th we go. Yankees 6, Braves 2.
When your schedule sounds like this. Are you kidding me? An oil change is the last thing you have time for. So drive into Take 5 and let our techs change your oil, check your tires, top off your fluids, and have you back on the road pit stop fast. All while you stay in your car. No putting your entire schedule on hold, no upsells, no problem. So you can get back to your to-do list. Or not. Find your nearest shop at take5.com. Take 5, the stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
The Braves and Harris Cherokee Casinos want to give you the spring training trip of a lifetime. Enter now for a shot to win the spring training trip jackpot presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. Just visit braves.com/Harris before March 5th, and you'll be in the running for a trip for 2 to Northport, Florida. You and a guest will win round-trip airfare, ground transportation, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Braves on Saturday, March 14th. But you must be 21 or older to enter. Get registered right now at braves.com/Harris.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
Into the top of the fourth inning here at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. Yankees 6, Braves 2. Yankees go into the bullpen, bring out the right-hander Camilo Doval. He's been an all-star in his career. That was back in 2023. He led the National League in saves that year. Of course, you might remember him with the Giants. Spent 5 seasons with San Francisco, traded to New York last year. And last season, as a Yankee, 0-1 with a 4.82 ERA and 22 appearances, had 1 save. He takes over for Elmer Rodriguez, and the 23-year-old went 3 innings, giving up 2 runs on 2 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. Braves send up Gamble, Farmer, and Kiersey here in the 4th. And now for more play-by-play, here's Wiley Ballard.
Thank you, Ben. Ben Gamble was one of those strikeout victims for Elmer Rodriguez, and now he will face Doval with a purple glove. The right-hander, a closed stance on the mound, kicks and deals. And a first pitch on the outside corner, 0-1. We were talking about it during the break, Ben, but Camilo Doval, he was one of the top relievers in the sport just a couple of years ago with the Giants. He had electric stuff, a big fastball, his 0-1. And he fires one just off the plate. Ball and a strike. That fastball clocking in at 96. In fact, that's more of his cutter. And that really was what made him so tough. It was just a cutter boring in on left-handed hitters. The righty's 1-1 pitch. He's trying to work that outside corner. Missed his target there. 2-1.
He's only 28 years old. And there were stretches when we would see him. Of course, we didn't see the Giants all that often, but there'd be stretches where you'd see Doval, and I'd wonder, how does anybody get a hit off this guy?
The 2-1. Fastball up and away, 3 balls and a strike. And you go back to just a couple of years ago, he was demoted to AAA after blowing a save. So he spent some time in AAA. It was quite a quick fall off for Doval. A year earlier, he'd been an all-star. His 3-1. This ball clubbed high in the air, deep to right. Judge is turning, watching, and it is gone. Ben Gamble, a solo shot to deep right. He gets the Braves 1 run closer. It is now 6-3. Yankees in front, but Ben Gamble with the home run for the Braves.
Second of the spring. That was a cutter that came right into his barrel. And he was able to spank it deep over the right field wall.
That's the spot you're told to avoid. We saw Doval working that outside corner over and over, and then finally that cutter leaked inside down and into a lefty. It went a long way. So now here's Kyle Farmer from the right side. And he takes the first pitch that just missed inside, a sinker at 95. So 6-3 Yankees. Here in the top of the 4th inning at George M. Steinbrenner Field. 1-0. Little tapper back to the mound. Doval off the mound of the third base side. Slings it sidearm over to first in time to beat Farmer. And there's 1 down. Yankees put up 5 runs in the bottom of the first on 5 hits, including Jazz Chisholm with a 2-run homer. The first of 4 straight hits And all 5 runs scoring with 2 outs. Deshaun Kiersey Jr. straps in from the left side. Duvall reaches back in the pitch. Serves softly into left field, coming in, and too late, Cody Bellinger watches it bounce in front of him. Looked like he hesitated a moment, trying to read how hard that ball was hit, but Deshaun Kiersey with an opposite field single. Braves scored their first 2 runs in the top of the 3rd. It was a leadoff walk to Chadwick Tromp. Jose Azocar singled, and then Nacho Alvarez, a 2-run single, scoring Azocar all the way from first. And now a pickoff attempt checking in on Kiersey. He dives back in, dirtying up his uniform, expecting that mint green batting glove as he got those fingers on the right hand in just in time. Tromp hoists his black bat over his right shoulder, and Duvall deals. And a swing and a miss. Cutter at 95 gets past Tromp. But the Yankees answered back. A solo homer from Paul Goldschmidt. Blasted deep to left off of Eliezer Hernandez. And then just moments ago, Ben Gamel with a solo homer. And there goes Kiersey. The throw is late into second. And a stolen base for Deshaun Kiersey. And the Braves have a runner in scoring position.
That's what stood out the most to me about watching Kiersey. Get him on the base paths, and he can swipe a bag, has good wheels, not afraid to go, good instincts. And that was a good pitch to run on.
Yeah, pitch was a ball to Tromp, so 1-1. Duvall kicks. He misses inside. He gets all the way to the backstop, bounces out towards the Braves on deck circle where Luke Williams has to hopscotch out of the way. But Kiersey moves up at 90 more feet to third, and now Tromp a chance for a cheap RBI.
Well, that whizzed to the backstop on the fly, didn't it? He had some mustard on it, but nowhere near the zone.
And that was when Duvall would get into trouble, even at his best, as he exhibits some wildness. And like you said, it got all the way past Austin Wells behind the plate. Infield has come in for the Yankees with 1 out. The pitch. Swing. And a miss. 2-2. Wasn't sure if Tromp caught a piece of that. Tromp saddles back in, the 2-2. Good take outside, 3-2. The Braves only have 2 players on their 40-man roster in this lineup to start this afternoon, Brett Wisely and Nacho Alvarez, but the other 7 hitters, all non-roster invitees, and all with big league experience. The 3-2. Check swing. And it'll be Mark Wegner, the home plate umpire, who says Tromp went around. Tromp wanted an appeal to Laz Diaz up at first, but Wegner makes the call, and Tromp is down on strikes, and Kiersey is still at third now with 2 outs. And for Tromp, that was a slider he chased in the dirt, couldn't lay off. Here's Luke Williams, and he has to shimmy out of the way as that one comes low and in. If you're a right-handed hitter stepping into Camilo Duvall, you better look alive because he is missing arm side right now.
Yeah, it looks really uncomfortable down there for the righties.
Infield moving back now with 2 outs. Luke, 29 years old, will turn 30 in August. The 1-0. Upstairs this time. Williams has to lean back out of the way. Of course, played in 39 games with the Braves last year, including 6 pitching appearances. We saw Luke toe the rubber a few times. Trying to see if he can make the roster out of spring training. Ahead in the count, 2-0. Swing and a miss. He came unglued. And that was just a challenge cutter right there from Camilo Duvall. Kiersey still at third. Braves trailing 6-3 in the top of the 4th. Duvall reaches back, cuts it loose. and fouled straight back just off to our right. Ricochets off the press box and I think ends up back in the stands. It's out of my purview. Luke Williams and the Braves looking for a 2-strike, 2-out RBI. Duvall gazing off down the third baseline. Now the 2-2. A bouncer foul third base side. Williams out in front of the slider.
Good little battle by Luke. Fouling off some tough pitches.
Red batting gloves. Steps back into the box, taps home plate twice. Before spinning the bat in front of his left shoulder and then coiling it over his right. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Dropped in for called strike 3. A filthy slider freezes Luke Williams, and that ends the fourth inning. But the Braves tack on a run. Ben Gamel with his second home run of the spring. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. It's the Yankees 6 and the Braves 3.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
I remember the hard road that led to this moment.
And the MLB Comeback Player of the Year is Atlanta Braves pitcher Johnny Venters.
Every day I work towards a better future for my family, my teammates, and my community. Having a setback in life can be devastating, but each challenge is a setup for your strongest comeback.
Braves win.
That's why I trust Globe Life. For over 125 years, they have been helping families protect their financial future. Globe Life. Make tomorrow better.
Cold months in the South mean that rodents, critters, and pests are trying to find a way into your warm house. Luckily, you can trust the pros at Arrow Exterminators to keep your home pest-free inside and out. Arrow protects homes and businesses and is the official pest control provider of Truist Park and the Braves, so you know you're getting the best from the best. To set up a free pest inspection, call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com.
All value games at Truist Park get you $15 tickets, $10 parking, food and beverage offers, and more. Learn more at Braves.com/value.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Yankees 6, Braves 3. Eliezer Hernandez is on for a second inning of work. He'll begin by facing the left-handed hitting designated hitter, Seth Brown. Hernandez from the third base side of the rubber spins a breaking ball over for a called strike. He landed that slider at 74 to get ahead 0-1. Brown flew out to left to end the Yankees' 5-run first. That's the difference in the game. Hernandez stretches and popped high in the air on the infield, just in front of the mound. Now at the first base line goes Chadwick Tromp, and with the mask on, he makes a basket catch for the first out. So that'll turn the lineup over. Now with one out here in the bottom of the fourth, and Trent Grisham will come up for a third time. He had to have one of the more surprising offensive seasons last year, given his track record. He hit 34 home runs. His previous career high was 17. He doubled it. And with that, the Yankees extended him the qualifying offer for $22 million, and he took it. The pitch, down and in, the back foot of the left-handed hitter with the breaking ball from Hernandez. 1-0. Hernandez comes set at the belt buckle. He fires. And a hard hit grounder rolled across the carpet off to the right. Wisely shuffles to his left a couple of steps and then tosses on to first. 2 quick outs for Eliezer Hernandez here in the bottom of the fourth.
99, Aaron Judge.
And that's the greeting for Aaron Judge as he makes his third plate appearance here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Could be his last of the afternoon. The hulking 6'7" right-handed hitter waits. The pitch. And spinning a slider over for strike one on Aaron Judge is Eliezer Hernandez, who seems comfortable trying to steal that first strike. The 0-1. That one in the dirt, backhanded by Trump. He'll ask for a new baseball from Mark Wegner. You mentioned that Judge closing in on 400 home runs, Ben. I'm curious, how far can he get? Can he get to 500? He's hit over 200 the last 4 years.
Yeah, I think he's well on his way.
The 1-1 off the plate.
And in his 30s, he's looked better than ever. I mean, we've talked about those numbers the last 4 seasons. And just a remarkable run these last 4 years for Judge.
The 2-1. In for a called strike. Fastball in the outside corner. That 91 from Hernandez. And keep in mind, he missed some time back in 2023 with, I believe it was a knee injury. 2-2. Ooh, just missed. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fastball at 92. Judge has already been caught looking once. And he challenged the call. And it was confirmed. Called strike 3. That was back in the second. Payoff pitch. Hit high in the air, shallow left. Williams shielding his son with the glove. He finds it, reaches up, makes the catch, and it is a 1-2-3 inning for Eliezer Hernandez. He's retired 5 in a row, and we go to the 5th. It's the Yankees 6, the Braves 3.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
It's rolling. That jackpot's rolling.
Well, got yourself a scratcher that didn't win? Well, my friend, it still could, because now all non-winning scratchers can be entered to win the Rollin' Jackpot, which grows and grows.
That jackpot's rolling.
The Rollin' Jackpot, another way to win from the Georgia Lottery. Learn more and enter at galottery.com. Play responsibly.
The top of the 5th inning. Yankees have a 6-3 lead on the Braves, and a new pitcher coming along now for the Yankees. This will be the right-hander Cade Winquest. Winquest, 6'2", 205, out of the University of Texas at Arlington. Former 8th-round choice of the Cardinals in 2022, and he's now in the Yankee organization after spending 3 seasons with the Cardinals.
First pitch to Azokar is yanked foul on the ground towards the Braves on deck circle. Strike 1. Zokar 1 for 1 today with a single and a run scored. And for Cade Winquest, he is a Rule 5 pick from back in December. So trying to make the Yankees roster. The 0-1. Just missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll see if Aaron Boone has a place for him in the bullpen. It's Winquest swivels in the 1-1, is looped into left. That's past the shortstop Caballero, and a base hit for Jose Azokar. A little looping liner. And Azokar's 2 for 2 out of the 9th spot.
Looking back at last season for Winquest, he was a starter in the Cardinals organization. Last year, 25 appearances, 23 as a starter between Low A Peoria and Double A Springfield. And posted a 3.99 ERA. But like you said, Yankees view him as a guy that they could use out of their bullpen, maybe give him some length.
Brett Wisely now in from the left side, and he hacks at the first pitch and chops it foul at the plate. Strike 1. You mentioned a couple innings ago, Ben, about Aaron Boone going into his 9th season as the Yankees manager, and you said, what, 6 Yankee managers have lasted 10 years or more?
Right.
All 6 of those have won a World Series.
That'll keep you in New York, won't it? I think 3 or 4 of those guys in the Hall of Fame.
Pickoff throw, and Azokar's back in safely. Close play as Goldschmidt slapped the tag on the back of Azokar just as he was crashing back into the pillow.
Yeah, 4 of them: McCarthy, Huggins, Stengel, and Torrey.
Well, needless to say, that's still the box Aaron Boone is trying to check. The 0-1. Fouled straight back 0-2 by Wisely. Of course, the Yankees won the pennant 2 years ago. Lost in 5 to the Dodgers. And although they had the best record in the American League, you know, there's some portion of that Yankee fan base who's feels as if Aaron Boone has run its course. They got to bring somebody else in.
It's felt like he's been on the hot seat the last 2 or 3 years, and then
it's delivered.
They get into the postseason.
Another 0-2 to Wisely. Yeah, that's upstairs, a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, I was looking back on their season last year, and they had their best month of the year in September, and just goes to show you how good Toronto was down the stretch. Yankees went 18-7 in September. Still finished second in the division.
Here's the 1-2. And that time it's Wisely shoehorning it out of Austin Wells' glove, just staying alive. Braves trailing the Yankees 6-3 here in the top of the 5th. Nobody out as Zokar aboard at first after his leadoff single. The first work for Cade Winquest as he's come in here in the 5th inning. Spotting a bright red glove. The 1-2. And a breaking ball bounces in the dirt, smothered by Wells 2-2. It makes you wonder, maybe that red glove is when he was in the Cardinals organization. Isn't going to update it yet until he knows he's going to stick with the Yankees as Rule 5 pick. Wisely steps back in, bright white batting gloves, red tape on both his wrists. Waiting on a 2-2 from Winquest. There goes Azokar. The pitch is served foul. An emergency swing there for Brett Wisely. Just fought off. Curveball at 76 trying to go through the back door. And as we sit here in the top of the 5th inning, about an hour and a half removed from first pitch, it has turned into a beautiful day. We had overcast skies when the game began, but now sunshine is just flooding George M. Steinbrenner Field. Perfect spring training afternoon. 2-2 again. And fouled off high in the air this time, twisting into the seats, and that'll land in the upper section of seats here and hop down into the lower one.
Yeah, this weather's more like it for spring training, isn't it?
I saw you post on Instagram a couple of days that it was 57 degrees when you were in Sarasota.
At 57 at first pitch.
Oof. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. The 2-2 to Wisely. And the lefty flicks it into left field. That'll splash down in front of Cody Bellinger, and back-to-back base hits for the Braves to begin this top of the 5th. Great battle by Brett Wisely.
Yeah, that was a good at-bat. He had the pitch that Azokar is looking to run on, and on that 2-2, he just did his best to make contact, try to put it in play, and fouled it all. Fouled off some tough pitches, and then got what he could handle, goes the other way. Braves in business.
So Wisely aboard at first, and now Nacho Alvarez, who drove in 2 runs, the first 2 Braves runs in the 3rd inning. It was a bouncer in between the first base bag and Paul Goldschmidt. 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Tying run at the plate. The pitch. And a breaking ball hung in the air, but fouled off by Alvarez over the Yankee dugout in the first base side. Strike 1. And what a whirlwind it was for Nacho last season. It was in spring training last year that he first suffered that wrist injury. It cost him the first 2 months of his season. Finally came back in June. Winquest ready, and the 0-1 is a broken bat roller out to short. Handled by Caballero. Flip to Chisholm for 1. On to first, and Goldschmidt, that's 2. And that changes the complexion of the inning considerably. The Zokar up to 3rd, but Alvarez grounds into the double play. You were hoping because the bat was broken, maybe that would take enough off of it to where Alvarez could beat the throw from Chisholm down to first, but he was still about a step and a half late. So the Yankees 6, Braves 3, top of the 5th inning. Dom Smith trying to come through for Atlanta with a 2-out RBI. And the pitch misses outside. It looked like Austin Wells was trying to get Winquist to pump that fastball inside on the left-handed hitting Dom Smith. Winquist wearing long navy blue sleeves. The right-hander's 1-0 is punched high in the air. Medium depth and left. Racing over is Bellinger, and he makes a catch over his shoulder just inside fair territory to end the inning. Well, an inning that started promisingly for the Braves, back-to-back singles, ends in short order. A double play ball and a flyout, and we are halfway to the house. It's the Yankees 6, the Braves 3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Ben Ingram here for ESOG, Engineered Solutions of Georgia. They're a locally owned and operated foundation repair company with structural engineering expertise. ESOG's warranty provides a lifetime of support for their customers, and the warranty is transferable with the sale of the house. Foundation problems don't repair themselves and can become a bigger problem and more costly over time. So call the trusted pros at ESOG. Dial 678-ESOG now.
Dial 678-ESOG now.
Are you tired of your food tasting tasty but somehow not quite tasty enough? That's why the original Louisiana brand hot sauce invented the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. It's the perfect balance of peppery peppers, tarty vinegar, and the salty tears of Mets fans who cried because they didn't win. But everyone can win at eating something delicious with the original Louisiana brand hot sauce, the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. That's Louisiana hot. Buy you some.
Hear that? That's the sound of a car rolling into Valvoline Instant Oil Change. The sound of another savvy driver getting an oil change from trained pros. The sound of not having to leave your car while we quickly change your oil. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, there's no hassle with appointments or dealer wait times. That's one smart bell.
The Braves Country Music Fest at Truist Park is June 13th, featuring Cody Johnson, Ella Langley, and more. Get tickets at braves.com/BravesCountryFest.
Fifth inning, Eliezer Hernandez on for a third inning of work. The Yankees lead the Braves 6-3, and he pumps in a first pitch fastball strike to Cody Bellinger. 0-1 on the Yankee left fielder batting from the left side. Hernandez deals, misses inside this time. He's worked 2 innings thus far, giving up just 1 run. That was a solo homer from Paul Goldschmidt. No walks, no strikeouts. This next pitch will be number 37 for Hernandez. Here it is. And it's clubbed high in the air, deep to center. Azokar racing back. He's onto the track now. He drifts, and a couple of steps onto the track, he makes the catch over his left shoulder for a long first out of this bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, if you're going to give up loud contact, that's the spot in the ballpark you want it to go. It's 408 to straightaway center. A little bit more room back there. Down the lines, of course, they could sneak out of here pretty quickly. 314 down the right field line.
Jazz Chisholm did just that back in the first inning. It's the first pitch to Chisholm here in the 5th. Breaking ball over for a strike at 74, 0-1. That was the slider. Yeah, Chisholm, it was a towering fly ball that just stretched out to clear the wall. It's the 0-1, misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. What do you think of Jazz Chisholm talking about going 50-50 this year?
Well, I don't see it out of him, to be quite honest. Maybe that guy.
1-1 upstairs.
I mean, you're thinking about 50 home runs. You're thinking about Judge. I'm not thinking about that for Chisholm. They're going to challenge this. See if the Braves get another one.
See if Chadwick Trump was right, thinking that caught the top of the zone. Video buffering, and nope. That breaks a streak of, I think, 9 challenges in a row to the Braves, and that was just 1.1 inches above the strike zone on Chisholm. So 2 balls and a strike. Hernandez kicks and deals, and Jasm cuts up and comes up empty. He's gotten his swings off today, 2-2. Hernandez set at the belt. The righty fires and tries to drop a breaking ball in the back foot of Chisholm. He lays off at 3-2.
See, Jazz hit 31 homers last year. That's his career best. Stole 40 bags in 24. That was his career best.
3-2. A sword on a check swing, and he went around Mark Wagner, rings him up. That back foot cutter was located perfectly, and that's the first strikeout for Hernandez this afternoon. 2 away in the bottom of the 5th.
You know, going back to that challenge, that missed high, and we'll get down the road a little bit and see what these challenges look like. I think the ABS system is going to do pretty well and be something that's a very efficient element of our game, similar to the pitch timer.
First pitch to Goldschmidt is in for a strike on the inner half.
But I could see us getting down the road and noticing a trend of strikes that are overturned up in the zone towards the corners.
Mm-hmm. Hernandez issues the 0-1. Corner pocket down and in, 0-2.
And our own Darren O'Day has talked about this on the air before, and I think it's a really good point where a lot of times the strike zone, rather than looking like a rectangle that it is, can sometimes look more like a pyramid.
Hernandez with the 0-2. That missed in the dirt.
And reason being, those high in the zone strikes to the corners just don't look as good from the perspective of the umpire as low and away or low and inside. Those corners at the bottom of the zone can be easier to see than towards the top of the zone with these umpires.
The 1-2. That just missed, trying to freeze him with a cutter. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So in summary, you could get to a point where you're starting to see challenges to those upper corners of the zone and seeing more of those overturned than maybe any other place on the zone.
2-2 on Goldschmidt, who's homered once today, and he fouls this one off back into the netting. To stay alive here in the bottom of the 5th, base is empty and 2 out. The Yankees leading 6-3 behind a 5-run first. I remember talking to Hurston Waldrop about it at the end of last season, as the pitch is a chopper up the middle. Backhand chance for Wisely. Makes the catch and fires a seed over to first to retire Goldschmidt. Hurston said he found in the minor leagues that those high strikes, you could really cash in on some challenges. We go to the 6th. It's the Yankees 6, the Braves 3 from George M. Steinbrenner Field.
Here's a club you'll want to get into, Club Citgo. It's the super easy app that opens the door to great fuel savings and more. Sign up and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, plus everyday savings that really add up. You can also enter our sweepstakes with multiple winners and giveaways, like free gas for a year. And Club Citgo makes paying easy with a convenient mobile pay feature. So welcome to the club where all the action is. Download Club Citgo today. Savings good up to 30 gallons, only at participating locations. Data rates may apply.
The Braves and Harris Cherokee Casinos want to give you the spring training trip of a lifetime. Enter now for a shot to win the spring training trip jackpot presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. Just visit Braves.com/Harris before March 5th, and you'll be in the running for a trip for 2 to Northport, Florida. You and a guest will win round-trip airfare, ground transportation, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Braves on Saturday, March 14th. But you must be 21 or older to enter. Get registered right now at Braves.com/Harris.
Baseball fans know you win by having a strong lineup, and Jim Ellis Buick GMC has one of the strongest.
From powerful GMC trucks to refined Buick SUVs, you'll find a great selection, competitive pricing, and a buying experience that delivers every time.
Shop online at JimEllisBuickGMC.com or shop in person in Chamblee, just inside 285, or in Buford, near the Mall of Georgia. Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade.
Jim Ellis, expect the best.
At the top of the 6th inning, Yankees have a 6-3 lead over the Braves. Some changes for the Yankees. New first baseman is Tyler Hardman. New center fielder is Spencer Jones. And the new left fielder is Yanquiel Fernandez.
So interesting to see Judge stay out there in right field after 3 plate appearances. The first pitch to Ben Gamble is taken outside, ball 1. Gamble 1 for 2 today. Struck out in the second, homered to right in the fourth. Braves trailing 6-3. Cade Winquest for his second inning of work, and he spins a breaking ball outside. 2-0 on Gamble. Speaking of changes, how about Ben Gamble? He has played now for 11 different major league organizations. 8 of them in the big leagues. Ahead in the count, 2-0. The righty fires, and in on the hands, skied into the air, shallow left, racing back and running it down. Caballero makes the catch above his navy blue ball cap for the first out here in the top of the 6th. So Gamble retired. And now Kyle Farmer, who's grounded out to third twice. We spent some time talking about Aaron Boone entering his 9th season as the Yankees manager. The pitch clips the outside corner, strike 1. Fastball at 95. Ben, you've now been at the major league level in baseball for 16 years. You've covered the game for more than 20. The 0-1 is low. Can you ever remember a year where there has been this much managerial turnover? 10 different managers since opening day of last year.
Yeah, third of the league.
Farmer waiting for the 1-1. Here it is. And he cuts and misses over the top of a curveball. 1-2.
I think to answer your question, no. I mean, annually you'll see 2-3 jobs, sometimes as many as 4 or 5 open up. But seeing 10 new managers, that's a very high number.
The 1-2. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, the Braves are one of those 10. Walt Weiss. I found it interesting that of the 10 hires, 6 of them were internal promotions across the league. Only 4 outside hires. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Farmer laid on the heat from Winquest, and there's quickly 2 down here in the top of the 6th.
That's going to be it for Winquest.
So Winquest goes an inning and 2/3, gives up a couple of singles, but no walks and a strikeout. And we'll see who the new Yankee arm coming in is. But speaking of those new managers, you've got Kurt Suzuki with the Angels. He was a special advisor last year. You've got Walt Weiss with the Braves, of course, a bench coach being promoted. The Giants brought in Tony Vitello, the former head coach at the University of Tennessee. Won a national championship there 2 years ago. 0 professional baseball coaching experience. The Nationals hired Blake Butera, who was a manager in the minor leagues in the Rays system. Orioles brought in Craig Albernaz, coming over from Cleveland. The Padres tabbed Craig Stammen, who was a special advisor for their front office and a former reliever. Pirates hung on to Don Kelly. He took over as the interim last summer when Derek Shelton was let go. Skip Schumacher back in the dugout after a year off. He's with the Rangers. Warren Schaefer with the Rockies, being promoted from within, and Derek Shelton, who was let go by the Pirates, takes over in Minnesota. And Ben, taking over on the mound is Taylor Scott.
And by the way, that's a very mixed bag,
isn't it?
Very mixed bag. I mean, you got internal moves, you got coaches coming from the college ranks to the major leagues, and everything where in between. That is actually Gary De Los Santos on the mound. And easy to mistake. You'll have 2-3 guys who are in the same numbers. Gary De Los Santos, right-hander, 6'2", 210, out of Samara in the Dominican Republic. 28-year-old righty who was in the big leagues for 25 appearances last year and went 0-1 with a 3.28 ERA. We saw him with Pittsburgh in 2022 and 2023. But he found himself in the Yankees organization after he was granted free agency and signed as a free agent with the Yankees back in 2023. Made the big leagues last year and getting a crack at it in camp, and inherits bases empty and 2 down with a 6-3 lead.
And Deshaun Kiersey Jr. batting from the left side. De Los Santos kicks and fires and misses down and in, ball 1. But like you said, a very mixed bag across the league. Interims being promoted, former players with no coaching experience. The 1-0 is wrapped on the ground to the right side. Easy play coming here for Jazz Chisholm. He wings it across to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning between Winquist and De Los Santos. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's the Yankees 6, the Braves 3.
Hello, I'm Neil Pruitt, Chairman and CEO of Pruitt Health. The Braves have shown us what happens when a great team pulls together. At Pruitt Health, our All-Stars help you recover from surgery or a major health event. Nurses, therapists, a whole team dedicated to giving you the personalized care you need. Come join the Pruitt Health team. Email hireme@pruitthealth.com. That's hireme@pruitthealth.com. Pruitt Health is a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
There was a time when electricity stirred emotion, when street lamps gave way to incandescent bulbs, and the flicker of a projector made us forget about old grainy photos. Electricity was once a luxury. When done right, it still is. The all-electric Lexus RZ. Because the greatest measure of an automobile is how it makes you feel. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in no time with same-day Wi-Fi.
Just 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most and keeps you gaming in the fast lane. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity. Imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report May 2025. Actual speeds vary.
The Braves have over 20 gate giveaways this season, from bobbleheads to wearables. See them all at Braves.com/promos.
Yankees 6, Braves 3. Bunch of changes coming up that will pass your way, but most notably on the mound, right-hander Taylor Scott is on the mound for the Braves, making his second appearance of the spring, and he'll be facing Wells, McMahon, and Caballero.
And the first pitch on Austin Wells just misses, ball 1. Wells today 2 for 2, including a double his last time up. The pitch is ground ball and a broken bat. Backhand chance knocked down by Groshans, and he flips to Scott covering for the out. Good poise by Jordan Groshans, who's checked in at first base.
Yeah, the rest of those changes. Jordan Groshans at first base. Jim Jarvis is at second base. John Hill, the 19-year-old, at third base. And the corner outfield positions change. Patrick Cloesy is in right. Kevin Kilpatrick is in left. And it's still a Zocard center. Williams at short, still Tromp behind the plate.
And Ryan McMahon at the plate, batting from the left side. In for a called strike, 0-1. Braves pitching is now retired 9 in a row. Wells' double in the third was the last base runner for the Yankees. The 0-1. This is way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball at 93 miles per hour from Taylor Scott. But McMahon, one of 7 left-handed hitters in the lineup today for the Yankees, as he fouls this one straight back off his thumbs. 1-2.
I'll tell you something I was thinking about, going back to your point on all the new managers in Major League Baseball this year. You mentioned 10 new managers. There have been seasons where, regardless of how many managers were hired, there were trends in baseball.
Here's the 1-2. And McMahon sends a sharp ground ball out to Jarvis at second. He slings it over to first, 2 down.
And otherwise, you might see 2 or 3 new managers, and they're all very analytically driven, or younger guys, or guys who had no managerial experience and were, players for a long time. Given the mixed bag that this is, that tells me there's no one real trend in Major League Baseball right now as far as the man that teams want as their manager. I think that's pretty fascinating.
The pitch to Caballero is low, ball 1. To be honest with you, Ben, I kind of like that. I like seeing teams have different strategies. I think, over the last 10 to 15 years, some of the thinking in baseball has become so consistent from team to team that there's not a lot of varieties. The 1-0 is off the plate, 2-0. I've talked to guys, who have played for Warren Schaefer in the Rockies organization, and they say he's one of the best managers they've had at any level. And then you've got a guy like Tony Vitello coming in from the college ranks going to the Giants. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Caballero nearly lost his footing there as he went after a slider that was up.
Yeah, because the hiring of, or the promotion, you might say, of Walt Weiss with the Braves compared to Tony Vitello going from Tennessee to San Francisco, very different.
Very different. 2-1. That's a slider in for a strike. 2-2. In fact, Walt Weiss, one of just 3 experienced MLB managers who were hired this offseason. The other 2, Skip Schumacher and Derek Shelton. The other 7, as the pitch swung on and missed. That's a strikeout on Caballero. 1-2-3 inning for Taylor Scott. The other 7, this will be their first time managing in the major leagues. We've got 6 in the books here in Tampa. It's the Yankees 6, the Braves 3. More spring training baseball coming next.
The Braves and Harris Cherokee Casinos want to give you the spring training trip of a lifetime. Enter now for a shot to win the spring training trip jackpot presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. Just visit Braves.com/Harris before March 5th, and you'll be in the running for a trip for 2 to Northport, Florida. You and a guest will win round-trip airfare, ground transportation, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Braves on Saturday, March 14th. But you must be 21 or older to enter. Get registered right now at Braves.com/Harris.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
You know what Atlanta sports fans understand. Whether it's baseball or buying a vehicle, teams matter. And when it's time to buy, the team you want is Jim Ellis Chevrolet. They've got a full lineup of Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, and an all-star crew that makes the whole process easy.
Step up to the plate at JimEllisChevrolet.com or stop by Jim Ellis Chevrolet, located just inside 285 on Peachtree Boulevard. Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Jim Ellis, expect the best.
Top of the 7th inning. Braves trail the Yankees 6-3, and a bevy of changes for the Yankees here as they take the field in the 7th. Peyton Henry behind the plate replaces Austin Wells. Tyler Hardman is taken over at first base. Yorbert Vivas at second. On the left side, a couple of former Braves, Braden Shoemake and Jonathan Ornelas. We'll get the outfield to you momentarily, but here's Ben Ingram with more play-by-play.
All right, thank you, Wiley. Chadwick Tromp, the batter. The first pitch, grounded out to third, past a diving Jonathan Ornelas, and a base hit down the left field line. Tromp around first base, getting to it as Luciano sends it in. Here comes Tromp to second, feet first slide, and they have got him. Good throw out of Marco Luciano as he dealt a good throw from deep in the left field corner to second. Vivas had the tag on the incoming Tromp. And that goes as a 7-4 put out after the single of Chadwick Tromp. So 1 down for Luke Williams. Yankees 6, Braves 3, top of the 7th. Both teams have 7 hits. Williams 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts. He'll swing and hit a little flare into left field. Coming in Luciano, and he makes a basket catch, ankle high, sprinting straight in. 2 nice plays by Marco Luciano out there in left field, and 2 down. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Atlanta Braves Spring Training Baseball.
Atlanta Braves spring training is live on WIFN Atlanta, a Dickey broadcasting station, 1340 and 103.7 FM.
First pitch to Jose Azocar, in for a called strike. De Los Santos had 2 pitches on 2 outs. Or 2 outs, I should say, on 2 pitches. There's a ball low and outside. So a 1-1 count. After Azocar, it'll be Brett Wisely. Actually, that'll be Jim Jarvis. He entered the ball game for Wisely. There's a called strike on Azocar. He's not happy with the call of Mark Wegner. And a 1-2 count on the Braves center fielder. Been a good day for Azocar. 2 singles and a run scored. 1-2 pitch low and inside, 2-2. All right, you got Spencer Jones as the new center fielder. And Yanquiel Fernandez moved from left to right. The Yankees with complete changes top to bottom. Also, Peyton Henry, the catcher. Chopper foul down the third base line. So left to right in the outfield, Luciano, Jones, and Fernandez. Left to right on the infield, Ornelas, Shoemake, Vivas, and Hardman, and Henry behind the plate. 6-3 Yankees, top of the seventh. 2-2 pitch. High chopper to third. Taken on the second hop by Ornelas. Wings it across in time. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Yankee defense. And the Braves have nothing doing in the seventh. Time to stretch them out here in Tampa. We go to the bottom of the inning. 6-3 New York.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Michelin's up to $180 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Michelin's and save up to $180 more. See store for details.
When it's your money, your business, or your home, you deserve a partner who sees and hears you. A partner who is by your side every step of the way. That's Ameris Bank. It's a commitment we're proud to make, and one we back up by providing financial solutions to empower you. Because at the end of the day, we are dedicated advocates for you. Visit your local branch or learn more at amerisbank.com. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to credit approval.
Braves fans, when you listen to the game, you know there's more happening than what shows up in the box score. The same is true after a truck crash. These cases aren't like car accidents. Different rules, different playbook. I'm attorney John Foy, the strong arm. I know how trucking companies move fast to protect themselves and what they hope you never find out. If you've been hit by a big truck, you need someone who's ready to step up and swing for the fences. Make the right call. Attorney John Foy and Associates, proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
All value games at Truist Park get you $15 tickets, $10 parking, food and beverage offers, and more. Learn more at braves.com/value.
Welcome back to George M. Steinbrenner Field. Braves trailed the Yankees, and Taylor Scott returning to the mound. We got some defensive changes, of course, for the Braves. Behind the plate, Jair Camargo replaces Chadwick Trump. On the left side of the infield, Luke Waddell checking in for Luke Williams. And in center field, Lisandro Espinoza takes over Jose Azocar. So all of the Braves regulars are out of the game. And we'll get a look at some of the guys like John Hill and others trying to impress the Braves organization.
9-1-2 coming up with the Yankees. And Austin Pope is taking over on the mound. Pope, 6'3", 210-pound right-hander. He is out of Fairfield University in Fairfield, Connecticut. Here's why I know that, because our own Greg Mize of Brave Social Media, he wanted to make sure that if Pope got into the game, we mentioned Fairfield, and he sent me a list of facts about Fairfield University. Greg, I'll take a glance at it on the way back to Northport, but I got enough bullet points on Fairfield to last the rest of the broadcast. But no, we appreciate that. Greg does an awesome job. So does that entire department. But, yeah, the pride of Fairfield University, Austin Pope out there on the mound. This is a guy who was in the big leagues a year ago, made one appearance with the Diamondbacks. Went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits in his only big league outing. And now he's in Braves camp. He'll be facing Seth Brown to lead it off. Brown will then be followed by Spencer Jones as he stands on deck. Braves have used Carrasco, Shanaman, Carrasco again, Hernandez, Scott, and Pope. It's great to have you with us. Yankees with a 6-3 lead over the Braves into the bottom of the 7th inning. Alongside Wiley Ballard, Ben Ingram here with you. And the pitch on the way to Seth Brown. And a ball a little bit low and outside from Austin Pope. Brown in the game, 0 for 2. Fly out to left field. Also a pop out to the catcher. Hitting 143 this spring. Here's the pitch on the way from Pope. Broken bat flared. Shallow center. Drifting back Luke Waddell. He makes the catch in shallow center field. One down here in the bottom of the 7th. Back to the top of the order. This was the spot originally held by Trent Grisham. He finished his day 0 for 3. And now Spencer Jones up to the plate as he took over in center field an inning ago. And Jones will be followed by Marco Luciano, who was very impressive defensively in the top of the inning. There's a ball low and inside. This is our only visit to this stadium this spring. Be in the Tampa area a little bit later. We'll go to Clearwater and Dunedin, not too far away from where we are here. 1-0 pitch, a little bit low. This place has been the spring training home of the Yankees since 1996. But there's a rich history of spring training in Tampa over the years. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way to Spencer Jones from Austin Pope. And he drives one a mile high, a mile deep, and well out of the ballpark. That lands deep in the bleachers in right field. Spencer Jones just branded his name on that one. That is now 7-3 Yankees here in the 7th inning. So Jones with the home run. And that is the 3rd homer by the Yankees today. Jazz Chisholm, Paul Goldschmidt, and Spencer Jones have all barreled one out of here today.
And Spencer Jones had 35 home runs in the minors last year in 116 games.
Very impressive. There is Luciano. He'll take a ball a little bit low. On deck is Yanquiel Fernandez. All these guys took over defensively over the last inning or two. Now they're coming to the plate for the first time. 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. Talking about Tampa being a spring training hub. Actually, the city of Tampa was the very first spring training site in Florida. That goes all the way back to 1913 when the Cubs trained in Tampa. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fly ball to right. That's going to send back Cloesy, shy of the warning track, waiting on it. Comes down into his glove and 2 down. Can't even imagine what Tampa looked like back in 1913, but the Cubs are here as the first Florida spring training team. 2 down in the inning. Here comes Yanquiel Fernandez. Something that Joe and I were talking about yesterday was how the state of Florida is the home of the most lightning strikes for any state in the United States. And Tampa particularly. Here's the pitch on the way to Fernandez. That misses high. I thought this was interesting. The word Tampa itself originates from the language of the Calusa Indians and translates to sticks of fire, which is a reference to the high frequency of lightning strikes in the area. I thought that was pretty cool. There's a called strike. Sticks of fire. 1-1 on Yanquiel Fernandez. And the motivation for naming the hockey team the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, we've seen lightning strike here 3 times off Yankee bats with the 3 homers. There's a ball popped up, spinning foul towards the seats down the left field line and out of play. 1-2.
Took the words out of my mouth. I mean, sticks of fire for the Yankees, Spencer Jones in particular. Fitting for the Bronx Bombers to be in Tampa.
That's a good point. They've got a 7-3 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fernandez, the left-handed hitter, swings and misses, and a really good slider strikes him out. So the home run by Jones gives the Yankees another tally. Outside of that, Pope was able to get Luciano, Fernandez, and Brown. We go to the top of the 8th inning, 7-3 Yankees.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And when you download the Kroger app, you can clip and save more with digital coupons every week. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you can enjoy more ways to save and more rewards every time you shop. So it's always easy to save big every day with savings and rewards. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
Hey, this is Jaron Solomon from Solomon Brothers Jewelers. People ask me all the time, what does it mean to be the preferred jeweler of the Atlanta Braves? And it means a lot to the Solomon family. I'm born and raised here in Atlanta, Georgia, and more importantly, I'm a Southeast kid. And the Atlanta Braves have meant everything to me growing up. They're a fabric of their community. We believe we're a fabric of this community. And being associated with the Atlanta Braves has truly been an honor, and we really appreciate it. Go Braves.
It's rolling. That jackpot's rolling.
Yeah, got yourself a scratcher that didn't win? Well, my friend, it still could, because now all non-winning scratchers can be entered to win the Rollin' Jackpot, which grows and grows.
That jackpot's rolling.
The Rollin' Jackpot, another way to win from the Georgia Lottery. Learn more and enter at galottery.com. Play responsibly.
Going to the top of the eighth inning, Yankees with a 7-3 lead, and Angel Chavigny has come in for the Yankees, the 23-year-old right-hander out of the Dominican Republic. He spent last season with the Yankees, the Rockies, where in 58 2/3 innings in relief, he had an ERA of 7.06. He takes over for the Yankees here in the top of the eighth.
All right, Chavigny on the mound, huh? Righty brings it, and a first pitch strike. He was traded to the Yankees in January. So he just recently moved organizations. That was a trade for a minor leaguer named T.J. Rumfield. So Angel Chavigny. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Huge hack and a miss that time out of Jim Jarvis. Spelled Chivili. Looks like it would be Chavilli, but pronounced Chavigny. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way to Jim Jarvis. The ball low and inside, away from the catcher, Peyton Henry. Nice moment yesterday for Jim Jarvis. He played in that game against the Pirates. Braves won 3-1. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Jarvis. And he'll reach and miss for strike three. Got him with a changeup. But for Jarvis, it was a family affair yesterday, as his brother, Mike Jarvis, was in that ball game for Pittsburgh. One of three Jarvis boys. All three of them play baseball. The other one was in the Marlins organization. Here's Nacho Alvarez. Bases empty, one down. Nacho takes a called strike.
And if it weren't for Connor Griffin leaving that game, I don't think Mike Jarvis would have gotten in. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Connor Griffin got hit in the foot. Mike never got it at bat, but he and his brother got to play in the same spring training game. That's pretty awesome. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll be fouled off the gear of Peyton Henry. He's going to have to go take a walk. That knocked his glove off. And he's dinged up back there, so 0-2 on Nacho. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Yankees. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Braves. Yankees had a 5-run first inning. They sent all 9 to the plate. They got a 2-run homer in the first inning from Jazz Chisholm. Also RBI doubles from Ryan McMahon and Jose Caballero. And a solo homer in the third by Paul Goldschmidt. And a solo homer in the 7th by Spencer Jones. Braves scored twice in the third. Both those runs on a 2-out, 2 RBI double by Nacho Alvarez. And then Ben Gamble hit a solo homer in the 4th. That's been it for the Braves. In the top of the 8th, right-hander Chavigny brings the 0-2 pitch. Nacho Alvarez takes the ball outside. After Alvarez, it'll be Jordan Groshans. Slender right-hander, swivels and fires a 1-2. Missed up and in with his fastball that came in at 96. For Nacho Alvarez, 1 for 3 today. The 2 RBI double in the third that he bounced down the right field line. On side of that, a ground out to first and a 6-4-3 double play. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back to the screen. Had a pretty good hack of the changeup, but still a 2-2 count. We saw Pope on the mound in the bottom of the 7th for the Braves. We'll see if they use him again for the 8th. It looks like they have a few guys stirring in the bullpen. We'll just wait and see. Meanwhile, a 2-2 count, low and inside on Nacho Alvarez. Yankees using their 5th pitcher of the ball game in Chavi. 3-2, a bottle rocket straight up, sailing towards foul ground. That'll be in the seats along the third base line. That goes bouncing around and lands in the shaded area of this stadium. Bright sunshine all over the infield and outfield. Only shade back here where Wiley and I are. There's the 3-2. That'll be rolled foul off the Braves dugout railing. Had a bump up in temperature hours, which has been nice. Had some chilly temperatures in the 50s and 60s last couple of days, but it's warmed up into the 70s today. And supposed to be back up into the 80s next week, which I think everybody in camp welcomes with open arms. Here's the 3-2 again to Nacho. I know swing and miss at strike 3. Challenged him with a high fastball. Up in the zone at 97. Back-to-back strikeouts from Chavi. That'll bring Jordan Groshans up to the plate. I know there are probably some people listening, hearing us talking about temperatures in the 50s and 60s and thinking, man, I'd give anything to have temperatures that warm. I know it's still pretty cold where some of you are tuning in. There's the pitch on the way. And there's a call strike on Groshans. Some places still have the wind howling. It'll just cut you down to the marrow. But hopefully warm weather coming your way soon. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. Jordan Groshans awaits. There's a called strike. 0-2.
You mentioned everyone in camp welcoming in those 80-degree temperatures next week. You combine that with an off day Tuesday. That's going to be a good mix.
One of, I think, 2 off days during spring coming next Tuesday. There's the 0-2. Fouled back.
Other one is 3 weeks from today.
Okay. I know where you look at the calendar, it's still February, and opening day to a lot of us still feels like a long way off. It's 29 days from the date. That's going to get here quickly. That'll move fast. 0-2 on Groshans. Chavi pumps it in there. That'll be guided out to first. A diving stop by Tyler Hardiman. Up on his feet, tosses the bag. Chavi is there. That is a really slick play. Tyler Hardiman, outstanding dive to his right. And that completes a 1-2-3, top of the 8th. On to the bottom we go. 7-3 Yankees.
Spring is just around the corner, and the last thing you want to do is spend all your weekends on yard work. Echo Power Equipment takes the hassle out of work, so chore time won't get in the way of your time. Find your own trusted, professional-grade Echo equipment at Howard Brothers. They've got the best equipment selection and price available. Their team is ready to serve and to help you plan your spring the right way. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
Strike 3. Good calls. They're great in baseball games, and they're even better when you need a law firm. If you've been in an auto accident and need legal representation, do yourself a favor and get the best call there is. I'm attorney Ken Nugent. My team will fight for you and stick with you from start to finish, working hard to get your money quick. Give our team a call. 404-CALL-KEN. One call, that's all. Proud partner of the Atlanta Braves.
Kenneth S. Nugent, PC, Attorneys at Law, 1355 Peachtree Street Northeast, Suite 1000, Atlanta, Georgia, 30309.
This spring and summer, the world's biggest names in soccer are coming to downtown Atlanta. Stay where the city gathers at Omni Atlanta Hotel at Centennial Park, just steps away from Mercedes-Benz Stadium and State Farm Arena. Skip the traffic when you stay with easy access to dining, entertainment, and the energy of Centennial Yards District. Book now and take advantage of special seasonal offers now before it's too late. Plan your spring and summer staycation at omnihotels.com/Atlanta.
The Braves Country Music Fest at Truist Park is June 13th, featuring Cody Johnson, Ella Langley, and more. Get tickets at braves.com/Braves Country Fest.
Bottom of the eighth inning, Yankees lead the Braves 7-3. Anthony Molina, the right-hander from Venezuela, has come on for the Braves. 24 years old, making his second appearance of the spring. A scoreless inning with 2 strikeouts. His first time out.
And his first pitch, a called strike on Vivas. Jorvit Vivas on the up to the plate. Left-handed hitter. Pitch on the way to him. And a ball inside. Molina, a guy the Braves claimed off waivers from the Rockies back in December. Rockies originally got him from the Rays in 2023 in the Rule 5 draft. Now this righty goes to work. 1-1 sent foul into the seats down the third baseline. Alongside Wiley Ballard and our producer-engineer Jonathan Chadwick, Ben Ingram here with you from Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, where the Yankees have a 7-3 lead on the Braves at the bottom of the eighth. Braves in the ninth will have the middle 3 due up. Hoping for a swift inning out of Molina. 1-2 high and outside. All right, I know that you'll be on television the next handful of ball games here in the spring. I think we've got you one more time on radio.
Yes, a week from tomorrow. I
think you and I have a night game in Fort Myers,
Minnesota.
There's a ball, though. Yeah, we'll have Braves and Twins under the lights in Fort Myers in a little bit more than a week. Got Darren O'Day coming in over the weekend. So who knows what kind of trouble we'll get into with Darren here. 3-2 pitch. Little floater into left field. Coming along now, Kilpatrick sprinting in. Makes a basket catch waist high. 1 out here in the eighth inning. So excited about that. And it's a fun time of the year to get to work with a lot of different individuals, at least from where I sit. And it's just fun to get to work with a bunch of good guys over the course of spring training. And Wiley, it's been good to have you aboard with us here on the radio side today, and looking forward to that next one a week from tomorrow. I know you guys have a lot of fun on TV coming up. There's a ball. All the home games during the spring session on TV, correct?
Just about. There's a couple that second week of March that will not be.
Okay.
But most of them.
1-0 pitch. And a swing and a miss that time out of Hardman.
But I'm with you. I feel like throughout the season, we don't get to see as much as everyone normally, because if one's working, somebody else is off. And that's still the case down here in the spring, but there's a lot more coming and going, and there's kind of a home base.
Yeah. A little bit too tall for Hardman. Yeah, it's a good time of year.
And you get to get chauffeured around the state.
Yep, Jonathan Chadwick knows all the routes here in the Grapefruit League. 2-1 pitch, low and outside. Yeah, we logged some miles, no doubt about that. As we'll be back at it on the road in a couple of days, loading up the Subaru to head south to Fort Myers, see the Red Sox. Got a home game tomorrow. Say that, let me take that back. Got the Red Sox at home. There's ball 4 low. Then we go to Sarasota. That'll be the road trip. Go to Fort Myers. There's a split squad on March 1st where there's a game in Fort Myers against the Twins. We'll have the home game that day versus the Rays. That's for sure. 1 out walk to Hardman. Bat in the hands of Peyton Henry, the catcher. He'll be followed by Jonathan Ornelas. Ball low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, that game tomorrow, Braves and Red Sox from Northport. That'll be a 1:05 first pitch. And Chris Sale will be on the mound against Brian Bayo. That'll be a really good matchup. Bayo, a very talented right-hander with Boston. 1-0 pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Then, of course, Chris, the former Red Sox, facing his former team. (7-3) Yankees, bottom of the eighth. Big swing and a miss by Henry. Make it 1-2. Yeah, speaking of Chris Sale versus Boston, One of my favorite games last year was the game in Boston in May where Chris faced the Red Sox and got a win in that game. That was May 16th when he beat Garrett Crochet. That was a 4-2 Braves win where they scored twice in the ninth. And Crochet, the starter, took the loss. 1-2 is in the dirt. It was a 2-1 Braves lead at the end of 8. And then they scored twice in the ninth. Red Sox scored once in the ninth, and the Braves won 4-2. It's just one of those old school pitching duels. As Sale went 7, gave up 1. There's a pop-up into the center field. Coming in now is Espinoza, and he's there for the out, 2 down. Crochet took the loss, even though he was outstanding in that game. And that was a matchup of 2 aces that night at Fenway Park. That was one of my favorite nights of the season.
And how about Chris Sale that night averaged 96.8 on his 4-seam fastball. That was his highest average fastball velocity in 5 years.
A little bit of motivation against the former team.
Little bit of juice.
There's Jonathan Ornelas. That'll be sent out. Did you see the samurai sword that Chris Sale was gifted from Mizuno?
That's incredible. When you've been in the league that long and you've received so many honors and gifts, you got to start becoming creative with what you're going to give.
Yeah, he's a guy that's used Mizuno gear for a long time, and they rewarded him. There's a ball, though. They gave him his own personalized samurai sword. That thing was awesome.
He's got young kids, right?
Yes.
Make sure you put that in a safe place. Because I know if I was 7, 8 years old and you gave me a samurai sword, I would go nuts.
He could have used that night. They had the throwback uniforms with the White Sox. 1-1 low and outside. 2 balls and a strike.
That's an all-timer.
(7-3) Yankees. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jonathan Ornelas is the batter. Braden Shoemake is on deck for the Yankees, but Braves looking for one more out. Big chopper out to third, taken by Hill on 2 hops. His throw across is a good one. And there's out number 3. That ends the bottom of the 8th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. Final chance coming up for the Braves to go to the top of the 9th, 7-3 Yankees.
Hey, Braves fans! SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the A, meaning SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of... The official ticket marketplace of...
That ball was crushed.
And...
Did you see that?
Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Braves games or to any other live event across Braves country, SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of every home team win. SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of...
Let's go Braves! The Braves and Harris Cherokee Casinos want to give you the spring training trip of a lifetime. Enter now for a shot to win the spring training trip jackpot presented by Harris Cherokee Casinos. Just visit Braves.com/Harris before March 5th, and you'll be in the running for a trip for 2 to Northport, Florida. You and a guest will win round-trip airfare, ground transportation, hotel accommodations, and tickets to see the Braves on Saturday, March 14th. But you must be 21 or older to enter. Get registered right now at Braves.com/Harris.
You need all the energy you can get for game day. Luckily at Georgia Power, we know a thing or two about saving energy. We understand that energy costs are an important part of your budget. That's why we're dedicated to providing tools and assistance that can help make a difference, so you can save your energy for the game. Visit georgiapower.com/myenergy to learn more.
Inning, Yankees 7, Braves 3, and on to try and get the final 3 outs for the Yankees is Michael Arias in his second year with the Yankees organization. Pitched across 4 different levels last year, all the way from rookie ball up to Double-A. Had a 2.73 ERA in 29 2/3 innings. He was acquired from the Cubs a couple of off seasons ago.
He'll be facing the middle 3 in the Braves order, and a first pitch called strike. That in there on Patrick Cloesy. Closey took over for Ben Gamble. Gamble homered in the 4th inning. That's the last time the Braves scored a run. They trail 7-3 in the 9th. Closey flips one foul over by the Braves dugout. Closey will be followed by John Hill. Then Kevin Kilpatrick. That's what the Braves will be fighting with here in the 9th. That's fouled off again into the seats down the third base line. Wind has been blowing out to left or left center the entire game. Bright sunshine, comfortable temperatures, but unfortunately the Yankees on top 7-3. 0-2 pitch. Way outside. Brought Peyton Henry out of his crouch. And a 1-2 count on Patrick Closey. First of 2 meetings between the Braves and the Yankees this spring. We'll see them down in Northport in March. And then in the regular season in August. 1-2 pitch, line drive into center field. Patrick Closey turned around that sinker coming in at 96 and barreled it into the outfield. That's only the 2nd hit for the Braves since the 5th inning. The other, a single by Chadwick Tromp, who was promptly thrown out at second base trying to extend the single into a double. Man aboard for John Hill, the 19-year-old. And Hill cracks one deep down the right field line, slicing foul. That's out of play and becomes a souvenir.
And to be fair, the Yankees have had only 1 hit since the 3rd inning. Now, that was the solo homer from Spencer Jones, but relievers have been good this afternoon.
Yeah, a lot of action early. 0-1, smack deep down the left field line, but hooking foul. John Hill will turn 20 in May. He's listed at 6'1", 180. I mean, he's put together for a 19-year-old. From the Dominican. Hit 3 different levels last season. Rookie ball, A ball, and Double A. Played 6 games in Double A, so you'd imagine he's targeting Double A this year. Pretty good progress for a teenager. 0-2 pitch. Missed inside. Last year, between those 3 different levels, he batted .252. He hit 7 home runs. All 7 of those home runs came in A ball and the Carolina League with Augusta. One, 2 to John Hill. Reach and a miss. Struck him out with a sweeper. A lot of movement on that one away from the right-handed hitter. And 1 down in the 9th inning. Bat in the hands of Kevin Kilpatrick. Ben Wiley and Jay Chad with you from Tampa, where the Yankees have a 7-3 lead. Kevin Kilpatrick going to swing and tip this one into the mid of Peyton Henry. Right-hander Arias looking to close the door here in the 9th inning. Jair Camargo is on deck for the Braves. Arias fires. A little soft flare out to first. That'll be caught out of the air by Hartman. Scrambling back to the bag was Closey. And the Braves down to their final out. So 2 down now for Jair Camargo. If he can reach, Luke Waddell would come to the plate. Yankees have used Rodriguez, Doval, Winquist, De Los Santos, Chavilli, and Arias on the mound. 6 different pitchers. Camargo takes a first pitch breaking ball in for a strike. Got the sweeper over. Braves have used Carrasco, Shanneman, Hernandez, Scott, Pope, and Molina. And that 5-run first inning proving to be the difference in the game as the Yankees had a 5-0 lead at the end of 1. Chase and a miss and another sweeper, and it's 0-2, and the Braves down to their final strike. Hartman not holding Closey at first base. He's got a big lead. 0-2 from Arias. And spoiled foul. Good hands by Tommy Watkins over at third base. He's the Braves' third base coach. Played that on a hop and has dunked it over the railing of the Braves bench. Over 8,000 in attendance today on a perfect day in Tampa. Camargo awaits. 0-2 pitch. He strikes out swinging. Sweeper away, got him. And the Braves feel defeat for just the second time this spring. Meanwhile, the Yankees win it by a final score of 7-3. They improved to 5-2 this spring, and the Braves dropped to 4-2. For the Braves in the ninth, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Final score, Yankees 7, Braves 3. Back with the totals after this.
I wondered if there was something special you could put on your food to make it even better. There is, and it's called the Original Louisiana Brand Hot Sauce. Perfectly blending zesty peppers, tangy vinegar, and salty salt. The Original Louisiana Brand Hot Sauce makes curly fries into curl your toes fries, and every plate of nachos into nacho heck yeah. Only the Original Louisiana Brand Hot Sauce is bold enough to be the official hot sauce of the Atlanta Braves. That's Louisiana Hot. Buy you some.
Today's highlight is brought to you by Toyota. At home or on the road, they're never the underdog. Toyota. Let's go places. Lease a new 2026 Toyota Tacoma SR5 for $289 a month for 39 months. Offer valid through March 2nd, 2026. Well-qualified lessees with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. $42.88 due at signing. No security deposit with select equipment. $350 disposition fee. Excludes tax, tag, registration, title, and dealer fees. See dealer for details.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. No annual contracts, no hidden fees.